Hello, I am Gregory the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It is Mother's Day today, and here we are at Typewriter Club Live. Yeah, all the mothers are welcome to join us today. Yeah, so today's typing prompt is, how do you make time for typing? So this should be an interesting one. I'm going to let some people in, and in the meantime, I will, as always, say, Typewriter Club Live, Type Pals is and always will be free. And please join us at typepals.com. And there are new episodes of the podcast Thursdays at 5 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, be sure and check those out as well. Unfortunately, Type Co-op at typecoop.com is currently down. I'm not sure when I'm gonna have time to work on it again, so for now it's down. Sadly, but anyway. Christoph, how are you doing?
Hi.
Hello. Oh, your volume is very low, Christoph. Yeah, it's still pretty low.
No.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
Fine on you.
Good, good. Yeah. Anything new in your world?
Yeah. I found a new typewriter, but I think I made a little mistake.
Uh-oh.
It's a Olivetti Luterra 12. And as you can see, this is not a common ribbon.
Oh, it has a cartridge.
And this is the most impossible thing to find today. Is this ribbon. This part is absolutely impossible to find today.
Oh.
I think I've seen it on an episode a couple of weeks ago. Someone was showing them off.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't remember what brand that was. Wait, was it in Olivetti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luterra 12.
Okay. Yeah, was that Curry that was showing that?
It's a 1979, if I remember. And the last time I said something about, I come back.
Okay. Yeah, I know Curry was talking about he had procured a typewriter and it had a cartridge like that. So
yeah, I don't remember what brand or something, but I just know somebody showed a cartridge like that on his typewriter.
Yeah.
This is my first electric. Here, up, Olympia. It's Olympia. It's electric, if I remember. Okay.
I think Joe Van Cleve either has or had one of those. He featured it in a video, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And I paid €3 or $3.
Wow.
The woman asked 5, and when she saw I was interested, she said free, only 3. It's good for me. And she was laughing with her friends because she find a stupid guy who wants her typewriter. I think she said this guy is totally crazy to buy this one. And but I don't have the cable. I don't have the cable. I have to find a cable. I think my mother, my parents get the electric cable. But I
Okay.
think it's right. And if I don't say some mistake, we can always find ribbons of his electric typewriters. I think we can always. No lights. Okay. I think it's easy to find. I couldn't find these. I will
Yeah,
search on the. I will search on the web if I can find.
Yeah,
Because there's a strange system of the letters are in a sort of disk, and the disk is broken.
oh,
It's a disk in a IBM. It's a ball, if I remember. It's a steel ball, but in Olympia it's a plastic disc.
yeah, that's called a daisy wheel.
Okay,
Yeah, so
but I think there's a letter broken just here. Just yeah, there's a letter missed.
oh,
But
okay.
the machine is pretty clean. For €3, I think it's a good purchase.
Yeah, definitely.
I just have to find the cable and test it.
Yeah. And as far as the accessories for that, it shouldn't be too difficult to find them. Yeah, because that style of ribbon and that style of daisy wheel, you can usually find them like on eBay or something like that.
Yeah, I think I will search when I will find the cable. I will ask to my parents. They have a lot of old things, old radio post, and think it could match on this typewriter.
Yeah.
Up.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's
I actually like the look of those too. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice looking typewriter.
and yesterday I found to antique sales an IBM, the famous IBM. It's electronic now, if I remember. Yeah, with the ball, yes. But the pad was broken. I don't buy because the pad was broken, and I don't think it's a good idea to buy a broken IBM. But I think I will be interested to find an IBM. It's a beautiful machine.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I think I kind of like the look of the Selectric One, so that's the one that's on my wish list. But it's not a typewriter I want to have shipped. I've heard that they can be a little fragile in shipment, so that's not something I want to do. Yeah, very cool. Is there anything else new with you, Christoph?
Nothing new for the moment. I'm waiting. I'm always waiting about my 4 typewriters from my the groceries owner. I told you a few weeks ago, if you remember. I'm a truck driver and grocery shop owner lost her father. Yeah, and she
Yes.
sent me. She has a 4 typewriter for me, but I was on holiday and I didn't deliver it her for a few weeks. But the next time I think I will see her and talk about. And I hope to buy
Yeah.
4 more. I have no place.
I know. You can make
I
room.
have the place problem. As you
Yeah.
can see just here, no
Yeah.
place, need a new furniture.
Yeah. You can always make room. That's the nice thing about typewriters. Most of them you can stack on top of each other, especially if they're in cases. So, uh, that's very cool. But yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that. Maybe next week. You think you'll be able to show us next week, or maybe a couple weeks?
No, no. Maybe next month.
Oh,
I think.
okay. Okay.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Christoph.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kimberly, how are you?
Hey,
It's been
good.
a long time since you've been on here anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I'm spoiled because I get to watch the recording, so I feel like I've
Oh,
but yeah, it's been a while since you guys seen me.
yeah. So, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm off on a medical leave from work, so that's why I haven't been on.
Okay.
Not up to much, no, but I did get some new fountain pens, and I have ordered but haven't received the Galen Leather Medic writer's bag. So some treats.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
very cool. Very cool. And no new typewriters?
No, I'm always keeping an eye out, but I have 16 and I've got a whole bunch of different typefaces already, so it's hard to justify a new edition. It has
Yeah,
to be a new typeface or, something really special.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, you guys know I don't find the good deals, so that's why it's easy for me to pass up. If I have to spend 500, I have to really want it.
I know, right? Wow. Yeah, and given that you do have a variety of typefaces, I can understand because with me, there's always the hope that by some chance, it wasn't shown in the picture
Yeah.
of the listing, and maybe it has a different typeface, or maybe it's 6 CPI or something like that.
I was finding them for deals. I mean, I'm like the animal rescuer, right? I would take the unwanted, unloved, but I'm not finding them for those bargain prices. So
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's where the real patience comes in. If you want to find the really good deals, you just have to be patient and patient and persistent. You
and
definitely
also the willingness to do some of the handiwork, like the cleaning and the maintenance, which I'm kind of still really nervous about all that.
I understand because you know me by now. Yeah, I don't really get my hands too dirty. I'll clean the type slugs and put the ribbons in. I don't mind getting my fingers inky
Yeah.
because obviously I play with fountain pens. So yeah, but it's very good to see you. Have you been typing anything in this time?
No, I've been journal writing a lot. So I've done some typing for journals or for art purposes, but no, I just emotionally and because of my medical being on leave, I just wasn't in the headspace. So I'm still really behind on correspondence, but it's funny how you think about it every day. Like you half write a letter in your head, but you just don't pull out the typewriter. It's crazy.
Exactly. And I kind of think that's the one advantage the pen has over the typewriter. It's much easier to pull a pen out than it is a typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you write any letters with pens?
Yeah, I do. And Williams already, I think probably because I'm so behind in my typing letters, Williams told me, "Oh, you could just pen me a letter." Like, okay.
And of course, that's true with everyone. I mean, we're all about typewriters, but we're also all about communication.
Yeah.
Especially through letters and postcards. So,
Well, I mean,
however
all
you get the word out.
writing tools are cool. Like no matter what, like it's all very cool.
Exactly. And I cannot emphasize enough the importance of using typewriters for journaling and getting those feelings on paper, even if it's something we're not going to share with anyone else in the world. So that's an excellent use of typewriters.
And also just for the from an artist perspective, like the typographic, you even if you just want to type a quote and then handwrite the rest of your journal, it adds so much. It really beautifies, even if you're making a collage or that bit of typewritten text, it really adds a lot.
Definitely. Yeah. They're just handy to have around.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you again, Kimberly.
Thanks. I've missed you. Well, like I said, I haven't, but I've missed seeing you in person.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Um, that's what I love about Typewriter Club Live and Type Pals. We have I don't even know how many members have graced the screen of Typewriter Club Live now, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's always really rewarding to see someone come back after a while. That's yeah. And I understand, life gets in the way sometimes. So, but it's always very nice to see people come back. So welcome back. Susan, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are y'all?
Good.
I don't really have anything new this week. I am getting ready for my trip, my vacation, which is starting on Wednesday, and we're taking typewriters to my typewriter repairman in Colorado. So I'm very excited about that. And then on to Wyoming for a week. So I won't be on next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular in Wyoming? Like
My family, my son and his wife and kids live there.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're going up there to visit them, and it's just beautiful country, and we're driving even with the gas prices, but
Yeah,
there you go. It's a beautiful drive. So
I bet. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Excellent. And any progress on your type-in? I know it's still a ways away, but
Yeah, it's still a ways away. I've been talking to a lot of people locally who've contacted me about bringing typewriters and stuff. So, what they need to, do I need them to bring typewriters and everything? So that's great. So, obviously I'm not going to have to be the only one bringing typewriters, which is wonderful. And this week I've been working on cleaning up. I asked myself in my journal on Monday if I'm becoming a typewriter snob, because my favorite typewriters are always the expensive ones. The ones I have. I have 4 Hermes machines. I have 6 Olympias. They get all the use. And here I have all these other beautiful machines, and they just kind of sit there. So this week I decided to do an inventory, and a family member, I think I mentioned before, had asked if I had an extra machine, and I've been getting one ready for her. And it's a Webster JP1.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm putting new felt in it, like Ted Monk suggested, red felt.
Oh, that'll be a nice
And-
surprise when you open it.
Yeah, and now I'm going to make it as pretty as I can for her. So she is going through some health issues, and she wanted to have a typewriter while she was, kind of laid up. And this is a good one because it's small. It's an ultra portable, and so it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's not that heavy, and it types really great, and the rubber is soft. And she's going to be doing recipe cards for her kids, where she's going to put all of her recipes on recipe cards. And I tried it, made sure it could take an index card, and it can. And so that's what I've been working on this week, is getting it ready for her.
Oh, that's amazing. That's very kind of you to do that.
Does it have fractions?
I'm sorry?
Does it have fractions?
It does.
Oh, cool.
It does. It has quarter and half, but it has a dedicated 1 key, which is good for a person that's not used to a typewriter. But she may just have to use the 1 and then the backslash, and then for a third to do, whatever. But I'm sure that she can make it work.
Oh yeah.
And it's not a super expensive machine. I think I paid $30 for it, but it works really great. And so I thought it would be great for somebody who isn't used to typewriters. It doesn't have difficult margins to set like a Hermes 3000 or anything like that. So
Yes.
But yeah, but I have decided I'm kind of a snob now, so.
It's allowed.
Oh, it's not a Hermes 3000? Oh. Oh, it's not an Olympia SF Deluxe? Oh.
Yeah. I'm kind of weird because I have fallen in love with the Hermes 3000, but at the same time, still one of my favorite typewriters is the Royal Companion from the 60s, which is basically a Royalite. And I don't know if I'd say most people, but many people hate those. But I love it. It's one of my favorite typewriters. So, and those are probably kind of cheap. So it's a no frills typewriter. So I'm kind of like the spectrum, I guess.
Well, I think it's just easy to, I mean, it's true that when I get out my 3000 and I type on that, it's like my fingers go, this is just perfect. This is the way that they are slightly cupped. It just feels great on my fingertips. And, and the Olympias, because of the springs on the keys, they are awesome too. They're so well engineered. And I have a gorgeous Alpine Blue Smith Corona Silent Super, but it seems very utilitarian to me at this point. I don't enjoy the experience of typing on it as much as I do the others. Now they're all in my rotation and I do get them all out. I have an Olivetti Studio 44 that I love, but not as much as the Hermes. I mean, if I was being totally honest, I could get rid of all of them except for the Hermes and the Olympias and I'd be fine.
Yeah. I can
But
understand.
those are the things you don't know until you've started really using your typewriters and collecting. I mean, it's really easy and it's very subjective.
Yeah.
I've never tried a TIPA. I've never tried a lot of machines. I would love to try them, but to have to purchase them to try them, that's why I'm excited about the typing. I keep telling everybody, bring me your unusual machines. Let me see those, because I think that to have the chance to actually try some machines before you buy them would be lovely.
Definitely. Yeah. That's it. That's why for the longest time, I kept hearing these sort of polarized views on the Hermes 3000. People love it or they hate it. And I was like, well, I want to try one of these.
Exactly.
And so one just kind of fell in my lap and I was like, wow, this thing is amazing.
Yeah, I just love it. And the Olivettis have a kind of similar, people call it mushy, but I don't really consider it mushy. They have a similar give to the keys. But like I know Lynn likes the torpedoes and I've never tried a torpedo. So I don't know. Of course, those are all expensive too. Those are not cheap.
Exactly. That Torpedo 18, yeah.
No, they're all expensive. Those are the expensive ones. So
Yeah.
I've decided I've just become a typewriter snob.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason that they're more expensive too. I mean, they probably have fewer of them, and a lot of people have come to the same conclusions that you have, Susan. So I don't think that's necessarily snobbery. That's just following the market, right?
Yeah.
I think the Hermes, definitely fell from the California typewriter effect when you have Sam Shepard sitting there talking about how great the Hermes is, and of course, and then later Tom Hanks, even though in the movie he talked about the Smith Coronas, I mean, later he said, "Oh, really? I love the Hermes 3000," and so everybody wants to get what or try to get what that is. Also, I think because they are European machines, they are a little harder to come by over here,
Well, and the Hermes just looks good.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
That's definitely part of it. Definitely.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. It's I have a curvy 3000, and I have one of the second generation boxy ones that has the cursive typeface. So I'm double spoiled,
I
But
like typewriters from different countries though. That was part of the collecting, was like, I want to see what it feels like to have a typewriter from Sweden. I want to see what it feels like to have a typewriter from Germany. Like, so, that's part of it too, because they do feel very different. Like the Hermes, the Fawcett, Torpedo, they all have a very different feel. The Italian Olivetti's, so you kind of do, it's like trying different foods of the world, right? You want to taste it.
Exactly.
exactly, but it can be very expensive. So typing is a perfect answer to get everybody to bring their unusual machines in. You
Well,
can try
hopefully
it out.
your Colorado typewriter guy will have some in the shop that you can look at.
No, specializes really in my favorite machines, and Hermes and Olympias.
Oh, okay.
He has a few other models, but he doesn't really, I mean, that's his specialty. So like, he's no help at all. When I say to him, oh, I'd like to try a Tippa, he says, you already have an SF Deluxe. What do you want with a Tippa?
It sounds like he's a bit of a snob.
Yeah, he is a bit of a snob.
In a good way.
Although he will repair anything, and he does a great job, awesome job. You know.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you it's a great machine, but
Yeah.
he really prefers the Olympias and the Hermes. That's
Yeah.
that's what they sold in his shop when he was really selling typewriters, the heyday of typewriters. He started repairing typewriters alongside of his dad when he was 12 years old, and he's 76 now.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
He has a little bit of experience.
A little bit of experience. My favorite story about him is that my friend who lives not far from here, who took my machines last year up to him, gave him for Christmas some of Ted Monk's typewriter repair Bibles. And Darwin said, "What's the matter, Rodney? Do you think I don't know what I'm doing?"
That is funny. Oh man, it can't hurt to have those things around.
I'm sure he already has a lot of service manuals that from back in the day. I mean, he was trained by Olympia, but it's just funny to me that was his reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow. If nothing else, he can make them available to sell.
Exactly.
I'm
taking up to him a bunch of machines that I bought for him from down here that he's gonna work on and then probably resell, but in my own. I've got 3 machines of my own. They're gonna get new platens and just get worked over. My beloved Hermes 10.
Now, typically, how long do you have to leave them there for him to?
Well, in this case, I already had let him know what I was taking. So he already had platens for most of the machines that he could send off. So he's already got the platens back.
Oh, cool.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to drop off my machines and then I'm going to pick them back up on my way home. So he had me take the Hermes 10 platen out myself and mail it to him because it's a wide carriage machine. He didn't have one of those platens, but for the SF Deluxe and for the SG1, he already has all the parts, and he has any parts available that I might want. He told me, I hope that's true, like feet or anything like that, if they need anything. And basically I write him a little evaluation letter and tell him this is what I think is wrong with it. But if there's more wrong with it, feel free to fix it. And of course, I'll be there. We get there on Thursday, and I'll be there Thursday afternoon and evening. We're probably going to take him out to dinner on Thursday, and then Friday morning I'll still be there until about noon or so, and then we'll go on to Casper.
Where is he, Susan?
He's in Glenwood Springs, Colorado.
Yeah, I don't even know where that is. Is that near Denver?
It's you could get there by going through Denver, and then I think it's a little west of Denver, southwest of Denver.
In the mountains then?
It's in the foothills of the mountains, and it's got a hot springs there. That's what it's known for. It's a very touristy little town. It's a small town. I've never been there before. This will be my first time actually visiting. but it's supposed to be really beautiful.
Oh, nice.
So, like I said, I'm sure the drive is going to be beautiful. It's a pretty part of the country out in the west there.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so it'll be fun. And he has, I understand that he has a basement at his workshop that is filled with typewriters. If you
I'm sure.
you just go down there and you can say, oh, I want this and that. So Andrew has made me desire an SM7.
I really worked on everybody last week, didn't I?
Oh man, you
I
did.
don't have an SM7. So I'm looking for a specific one. So I'm gonna see. Last year, he took a SM7 and that was blue and changed the body panels for pink for someone so they could have a cursive SM7. But I don't want cursive because I already have a cursive SF Deluxe. What I want is a Congress, either a Congress Pica or a Congress Elite. I'd prefer a Pica just because I think they're with the bolder typeface. I just think I would really like that. So I'm going to see. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas. Who knows?
Yeah. I was going to ask you too, Susan, and I think you told me this, but it seems amazing that you go to this repair guy or you discovered him in Colorado, because in Texas, which is the biggest state in area, one of the biggest in population, there's no typewriter repair person. Is that correct?
There is right now. There's a young man. He's like 16. He lives in San Antonio that is learning how to repair, and he's done a lot of repairs for various people, but everything has closed here and there is nothing. There are people who repair their own machines and people who who fix up to resell. Most notably, there's Todd Payne who's Lazy Dog Typewriters. He's in near me. But they do not repair other people's typewriters. So they will try and help me repair my machines verbally, or I can call them and they will try and help. But here's the thing. I get so nervous that I'm going to break something, or that I'm going to lose a screw.
Yeah.
Or a spring is going to pop off. And where the heck am I going to find a little screw? And I've been so lucky in that the machines that I have bought, I was 99% of them. I've only bought one, not from an estate sale or Facebook Marketplace. And that they work. They may have a quirk, but they work. Okay. In other words, one may have a problem with the left margin stop, doesn't quite work properly or whatever. But I can live with those things a lot of times. So a lot of times I'll just live with it for a while. And then I decide which ones do I use the most, and I really want to get a new platen. Which ones do I really want to, and I invest in those few and not all of them.
That makes sense.
But we have no repair person, and nobody intends to right now. I mean, I have nobody. And I think it's partially because they just don't feel like there's enough money. They can't make enough money.
Yeah.
Like Darwin, he charges $180 to rehab your typewriter, completely clean it. This is excluding any parts, but it would include not the new cost of the platen recovering, but inserting the platen.
Yeah.
It includes any type of little tweaks that he has to make, but if you need parts, he charges a little bit extra for the parts, but it's very minimal. And they just don't feel like that's enough money. Where like Todd Payne, he can buy a Webster like this for $30 and he'll resell it for $375.
Well, those guys in Berkeley, they charge about the same as what you're describing your Darwin guy does. And I got to think in this part of the world that they must own that building or something, because if they were paying rent, I don't think they could make ends meet, right? And of course, this is getting way too into their business, but because they're so reasonable, and they're on University Avenue in Berkeley, which is expensive real estate. I don't quite know how they make it work, but they do, and I'm certainly grateful.
Well, you know, they can tear down a machine faster than you can because
Yeah,
they've
that's
been doing
true.
it so much.
Yep.
And like Darwin has actually a cleaning booth thing, which he has sent me pictures of my little naked machine sitting in this cleaning booth where he just sprays it with God knows what, and everything drips off of it. And it then, you know, whatever he does.
Well, unlike the Berkeley guys that take him to the power car wash.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. But, you know, he has customers. Yeah, I worried about him for a little while, but I don't know why, because he called me and said, oh, someone from Utah is bringing me 20 machines. So a lot of people do what I do from around the country, and they just bring a bunch of machines up there, and then he does them all, you know, for him. But I don't do shipping. So if he isn't able to finish my machines, then I'm going to have to go back in the fall. Oh, how sad is that?
I was going to say, what a nice experience.
To pick up, because I personally don't trust shipping. I've just seen so many horror stories and heard so many things. And one of the machines I'm taking is the SG1, Betty. And quite frankly, I'm not prepared to ship her because I don't want anything to happen to her.
Yes, someday I'll have to tell you the story about my Olivetti Graphica that had a little bit of damage coming from the Netherlands. More than a little bit. So I've dumped that project onto Lucas at Typewriter Chicago. So we'll see how far he gets.
Yeah.
But even the frame got broken on the bottom.
Wow.
So, but you know, those Graphicas are so rare that I just jumped on the opportunity, and the guy convinced me he could ship it with no problem. And he did wrap it well. It's just the shippers were like that commercial with the suitcase and the gorilla, right? I mean, it must have just beat the, you know what, out of it. So
yeah,
we'll see if we can get that.
Well, a
back
lot
on
of people
track.
have had good experiences, but I just don't trust it.
Especially those standards, because they're so heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, when they were originally shipped, I think they were on wood pallets and stuff like that, right? And
wooden crates, yeah.
Yeah, wooden crates, yeah. And if you do anything less than that, I think it's pretty dangerous. So yeah, I'm now the voice of experience about damage in the mail.
yeah.
Well, even the smaller machines, my friend Rodney, I'm taking his, he has a Hermes 3000 that I'm taking up there because Darwin had fixed it up for him. It has the petite pica typeface, so it's got an unusual typeface. But when Darwin shipped it back, and Darwin packs very carefully, he double boxes. He's got bubble wrap between the boxes all around the thing. I mean, trust me, but apparently there's something going on with the escapement, and they think it might have been caused by shipping it. So I don't like that whole shipping thing. Also, I really prefer to see the machine in person and decide if I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten such great deals that I've got such a wide variety of machines that I've gotten in estate sales. I mean, I've got Royals, I've got Smith Coronas, I've got Olivettis, the Hermes. All of my Hermes machines came from estate sales.
You are truly the goddess of estate sales. I don't know anybody else that does so well. And with the paper, unbelievable.
I know. Well, the paper, that's because it's the hidden secret of the universe. Nobody realizes that you can buy it at an estate sale. And the estate sale sellers don't think it's worth anything, so they don't charge you very much. So it works out great for everybody.
Definitely.
And it's funny because, you know, the paper, like Peter Stewart, I don't know if any of y'all have heard of him from ATC or from Austin Typewriter Inc., but he's a big paper person. And he also is awesome at identifying typefaces. So if you're ever looking for a particular typeface, he is great he'll send a call out and say, oh, this is at Facebook Marketplace here. Look, there's a one key. Oh, look where the one key is on this keyboard. It's got to be either cursive or italic. He's really great at that. Anyway, he probably messages me at least once a week asking if I found any new paper, because I love the vintage paper. I adore it. So Andrew, did you get your packet of paper?
I was just going to say, so it's like Christmas came a little bit early here this year. I got. I mean, so everybody, I mentioned casually, I'm interested in paper and stuff like that. And Susan sent me a collection of, I'm going to say 6 different types, like 4 pages each in a large envelope. So yeah, I sent you a response and I chose a particular paper. You'll get it. Hopefully you'll get it tomorrow or the next day.
I'm so
What a
excited.
lot of fun. I'm going to use it all. And just see what I think,
Exactly. That's what I sent it to you for.
Yeah, yeah.
Like typewriters, you don't know what you like until you try it, So if you have a chance to try it, then you'll know, and then you hear that somebody has some and you want to buy it, you'll know you'll love it. So
well, I saw a ream of that 401c or whatever, that start and I know you really like it and you have a family connection to that. And, with shipping, it's about $50 on eBay, and that's 500 sheets. And I figure, when it was new, it was probably $20, right?
yeah,
I mean,
or 30, or maybe 30.
or maybe 30. So it's not really all that outlandish when you think about it. Plus you have to ship it, right? So once I play around with these different papers and I decide what I want.
That's right. That's what you have to do.
I may take the dive. Now, of course, I need to up my envelope game tremendously, because you have that nice paper and then you got one of those Mead envelopes you got from Amazon.
That's okay. It's the important thing is the nice paper. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it looked very
You can
nice.
cut it in half. You can cut it in half to make it the smaller size. To
Oh, that's a good idea.
letters. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't. I've done that, or I've just folded it and then torn it. So it's got kind of a little tattered edge. Looks really cute.
Yeah.
Right, Kimberly?
Yes.
Does Kimberly know that?
Susan is speaking my love language. Yep.
So you don't have to keep it as a whole sheet and get twice as many pages that way.
I didn't know if that was a sacrilege though, so I didn't want to step too far out of line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a right way and a wrong way with the bonded papers that have the watermarks. You want to be sure the watermark is facing you, but
Facing me so I can read it, right?
yeah, so you can read it. So, there's a top and bottom to the paper, but it is fun to try it. I mean, but like I said, it's like, exactly for me, it's like, if I buy a ream for $2, I'm not going to even question. I just buy the ream,
Oh, yeah.
I just go in. Anything that looks vintage, that has the Southworth, the Eaton, the Gilbert name, I just grab it and I buy it because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Then I get home and I try it and I decide what is it that I really like. And so I'm happy to pass it on to somebody else so that they can try it too. Because I think that it is difficult to buy off of eBay if you haven't had a chance to touch it and feel it. I mean, if you're at a really great stationery store, you get to see the paper that you're buying. So you know what you're investing in, and it should be, somehow it makes it easier.
Well, that was extremely thoughtful and generous of you. And I just want you to know
my
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it
pleasure.
very much.
It's my great pleasure. So enjoy it.
No, I will. I am.
And I can't wait to hear which one you like best.
Well, you have to wait. It's coming.
It'll take a little while.
I think it'll get to you before you go on vacation, I think. Because I mailed it yesterday and mailed
It
it
probably
out.
will. Probably be here tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay, good.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Susan.
Okay, well, that's it. That's all I have to say. I have nothing more.
All right. Marina, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. It's been a little while.
It is. I was quite sick at the beginning of
no.
April. Yeah, I don't know if it was COVID. I tested negative twice, but it wasn't COVID. It was a really bad flu, and everybody in my town is going down with the exact same thing. So, yeah. So that's it was pretty bad. So. And then my son's been golfing like crazy, so I've been having to drive him to all these golf tournaments every weekend. So, so that's finally, yesterday was the last one for a while, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah. And is there anything new in your world? Any new typewriters?
There's a lot of new typewriters. I bought 2 this weekend already.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm having great luck Kimberly, I'm just going to rub it in a little bit. I'm having great
Yeah.
luck with Value Village,
Ah,
which is our chain of thrift stores across Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've since my last Type Pals, I've bought 4. I have talked about them at the Saturday meetups, but I have 2 right here I can show you.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's funny because Susan was just showing her Webster, the one she's giving away. So I have a Webster.
I love the look of those.
Yep. So this is yesterday's, and I'm in the middle of typing a letter. There's only one thing wrong with this one. It has the little pin that sits next to the post on the ribbon spool on one side is broken. So it will pull the ribbon in one direction, but it won't pull the ribbon in the other direction. So I was watching a video from Phoenix Typewriter last night on how to kind of MacGyver a solution. So,
Yeah.
so I'll be doing that at some point. In the meantime, I can just wind it onto the other spool and reset it back. But other than that, it's in full working order. I'd been looking for a Webster. John Van Cleaver's got 1,000,001 videos of Websters.
Yeah.
And so I think he was obsessed at one point.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for one, but this one is the 5000. I went on Typewriter database to put it on last night because that's the first thing I do. It's like you can't unbox a typewriter without actually entering it in the database. And this was only the second one on there. So I was actually kind of surprised that there weren't more of this model. And I don't know why. So if Ted shows up, we'll ask him, because I'm kind of curious, was this like a short run model, or because there's a 500, but was it rebadged as 5000? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not a fabulous typer. Like a lot of the ultra portables, they're a little rough around the edges, and it's carriage shift, which now that I've got basket shift, I'm a little bit split.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's not my favorite, but $15, Kimberly, $15 Canadian. That's like free for Americans.
Yeah.
for fees and no, oh my gosh.
With a case. I know. I'm like, I can't leave that there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was yesterday's. I'm gonna move that one out of the way. And then I'll show you what I got on Friday night, also at Value Village. And this one was $25.
It's me. I gotta move east.
West, you mean?
West, okay.
Oh, hang on this way.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
This is an Underwood leader. Actually, if I I'll pull the paper out. I was trying to see if I could revive the ribbon. I don't have any single color ribbons. So, all right. So it says leader. You can see right on the back there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a 1950. From what I can tell from the serial number. It is so smooth to type on. It is crazy. It has, I don't know, it just really, really is smooth. It is really ugly. My other Underwood is also similarly ugly. I went on to Typewriter database to put it in there, and there's all these pretty blue ones and these even two-tone ones, and I seem to have the only year, I guess, or the only style of the one that looks like it was made out of the leftover parts of a tank or something, because it's all like kind of khaki gray. Yes, it looks very, very military, but it's so smooth. But it doesn't have a ribbon color selector, and it doesn't have any tabs. So it was, I guess it was their really low end entry level model, but it did come with a case and a key even. Who would know?
Oh, nice.
Still attached with a string.
Yeah.
But it weighs an absolute ton. I was quite surprised how heavy it was. And it's quite small, a little bit smaller, narrower than most everything else I've got. So it's like they were really trying to make it quite compact, but not light.
Yeah, exactly.
But I actually really like it. I just wish it was a different color. And I also thought it was slightly older than it was. So it was surprising to me that it was 1950. It looked a lot older. But you know, you're in the store and you're worried someone's gonna steal it because you know there's so few typewriters. It's like, oh my gosh, it's mine. I got to get it out of here as quick as I can. So yeah, so that one, I just need like I said, I just need the ribbon because I don't have a single color ribbon to put into it. And it's a pica, that one. The Webster is an Elite. And they both have just normal typefaces. Nothing fancy. I'm still on the lookout for my cursive. And then the other two that I bought, which were maybe back in March now, also from Value Village, Kimberly. I'm on a roll. I bought a $25 Smith Corona Super Elite, which I really love. That might actually be my favorite typewriter right now. Really, really smooth to type on. And I think, but the best deal was the $20 Olympia SM9. And I happened to notice while I was in the store that the ruler went up to, I think it went up to 100. Or no, it went up to something weird, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm excited. This is going to be an Elite or something. So I get it home and I start typing, and it is senatorial.
Wow.
I know. I was super excited. So that I think has to be a pretty good deal. I was really reluctant to buy another SM9 because I already have one, right? But mine's white carriage, so I bought it because it wasn't, and then discovered it was senatorial. So that was definitely a score there. So yes, that's my Value Village exploits. So I couldn't believe how lucky I've been in the last couple of months.
Yeah, definitely.
And all super cheap, right? So I don't mind. Kimberly, you're saying that, you don't want to pay $500, and God, no, I would never pay $500. Unless maybe it was a Hermes 3000, maybe. But yeah, I haven't paid over $100 Canadian for any typewriter. In fact, I actually haven't paid over $90 Canadian for any. That's my highest. It really is hard to justify going a lot higher unless it's like your dream machine, right? When these machines are $20, it's easy just to pick it up and play with them. Just test them out, right? I mean, I figure I can always just resell them on Facebook Marketplace to get my money back, or give them away to somebody who's looking to try something. But I did want to comment to Susan because she said tipper about 5 times. I have a tipper. It's that one there. It's orange. It is my first typewriter. I've had it since I was about 8. Something like that. My aunt gave it to me.
Nice.
And it's very, very small and thin, and quite fairly light, but it is not a good writer, and I don't think you really want one. So
I think the Goss tippers are better, though. I have to say,
possibly. Yeah, possibly. That one's the Adler Triumph, or Triumph Adler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's probably kind of similar to the Webster. It's not a spectacular writing experience.
I have a question for everyone. What is the maximum price you put on a typewriter? usually not. If you find a very fantastic machine, you say okay, 50 or 70, it's okay. But what's the maximum price you when you go to a thrift store? What do you say? I will not more than 30 or 20.
Well, if you consider the shipping, the international exchange rate, and import duties, I've paid as high as $900. And that was not Hermes 3000. It was not like one of these, like you expect to pay that. So if you're talking locally, like I don't find deals locally. So locally is $400, maybe $500. But you know, when you factor in the exchange dollar rate, import duties, shipping fees, I've paid as high as $900.
For the moment, I know where I can find Hermes 3000, totally in very incredible condition with the little the little accessories inside the box. And the guy asked dollars and euro are similar, 90. He asked 90 for the typewriter and the entire in very good condition. And I'm always asking if it's a good idea or not, if I will find another cheaper.
So did
or
you say
not.
90, like 90?
90.
So the Hermes 3000, just so you know, is selling in the United States on eBay. If it's fully refurbished with a new platen, they're in the $1,400 range, $1,400. If it is not even fixed up,
Okay, I will go to the
Go buy it, run,
if it's
don't
not
stop.
even repaired at all, okay, just maybe they cleaned the case and everything, you could probably easily get $300 to $600 in the United States.
Yeah.
For it on Shop Goodwill, they even are going for that $300 to $600 price range.
I
So-
hope the
So if you have, the thing with you're being in Europe is that obviously you have more access to European machines and you can get them for a cheaper price, but you could easily sell them to an American for way more than what you paid if you pay only $90.
okay. I hope the machine is always in the store, but I think because people here don't, for the moment, the vintage wave is not for typewriters. This is not really. We are not really crazy about typewriters here for the moment in Europe, but I think it will coming. It will come later. I will see if the typewriter is always in the store, but I think there's 80% chances the machine is always in the store.
So Christoph,
Yeah.
I'll you buy that thing for 90 euros. I'll fly you and the typewriter to Toronto on my dime, take you out for dinner, and fly you back, and I'll still make money on it.
That's exactly correct.
And I was just about to say the same thing. Christoph, get me one. I'll pop over there and pick it up from you in the.
I dream to come.
There you go.
I talked to Andrew by letter, and it's very hard to find a place where to go in USA because it's so big. I turn tomorrow 38, and I think for my 40 years old, I will make a big travel, of course, in USA, but I don't know where for the moment. There's too many places to see. There's too many places to visit. I have favorite places like Louisiana. I love Louisiana. Utah, Oregon. I'd love to see the volcanoes in Washington, Oregon states, on a Yellowstone National Park, of course. It's a dream to see it.
I would
And,
say have your first stop Oregon and sell all the typewriters you bring with you, and that would pay for
There
your
you
trip.
go. There you go.
Because there's a good market in Oregon, and there's a good market on the West Coast. Midwest, not so much.
I'd love to see the face of the people in the airport when they scan. When we scan my luggages and we'll see, what's this? Oh, it's just a typewriter. No, don't worry. It's not. It's not.
Just one thing. Luggage costs a lot to take with you, and prices for the plane are going up because of the fuel prices all over the world.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, I have a good diesel car. I can go anywhere. I will take the boat. I could take the boat.
The Titanic.
Yeah. But I see there will be a Titanic 2. Billionaire will make the Titanic 2 soon.
Wow.
In 2024 or 2025. I don't remember when the boat will be on water, and I don't know when the boat will be under the water.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that boat.
That's not so much
it
problem.
doesn't seem like a good idea. I
No,
don't
I'm
know
not
how they
getting on
could
that boat.
possibly think that was a good idea.
I would stay away
there
from
are
that
less
need.
icebergs nowadays due to global warming.
That's true. That's true.
It really seems like you're pouring your money down the drain or into the ocean at that point. So
I will check if the Hermes is always in the store tomorrow, because I don't work tomorrow and will be near the store.
Yeah, hopefully it's there. Definitely.
and Christophe, you're in France.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have to ask you. I'm looking at the beam above your head, and I'm wondering how old your house is. Because that is one old looking beam.
I live in a place called the Sologne Forest. It's do you know the Loire River? Under
no,
Paris,
I've heard
okay?
of it, but I don't know where it is.
You have Paris,
Yep.
the Seine River, okay?
Yep.
And under Paris, you have the Loire River. The Loire is the second longest river in Europe after the Danube, if I remember. And we have all castles, all the Renaissance castles of King Francois I, King Louis XIV, King. We have a lot of castles on a very big forest. And in my city, I'm living in the Sologne Forest. On my house, it's not my house. I'm not. It's a rent. It's a farm. It's an old farm, cut in two parts, and I think it's 19th century farm. Because in my place there was a green on for animals, and there was a factory, an old brick factory. No, it's all houses, but in the 19th century it was a very big factory at the end of my street, and a lot of farms, a lot of nature, but no, it's finished. It's urban. But I live near the city of Orléans, the old Orléans, not the new Orléans, with Joan d'Arc, of the history of Joan d'Arc. And this weekend, this is the Joan d'Arc party in my city, in city of Orléans, with a lot big fest and big celebrations. And we have in Orléans, we have a cathedral. Okay, it's the little sister of the Paris cathedral. They are similar cathedral than Paris, but a beautiful 13th century cathedral. Yeah.
Are you're close to Le Mans too, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm close to Le Mans. Yeah. And to Nevers, if you know the track of Nevers-Manicourt. You know?
I don't. I just know
it's
that.
The second biggest track. We have 3 tracks: Le Mans, Nevers-Manicourt, and Le Castellet. Or what you said in your
Castellet is the Paul Ricard, right?
But it's very far from me. It's in South Mediterranean places.
Christophe.
Yeah.
Do you visit the Le Mans circuit at the 24 hours?
I've never been in the. You can drive on the track because the 50% of the Le Mans track is open to circulation, to car traffic. Okay,
I go to Le Mans every year.
They close all the road for important races.
Yeah, I know.
But
I visit Le Mans every year. I go there with a group of friends and watch the 24 hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but this week, if I remember, this weekend or last weekend, we had the motorcycle Le Mans race, and we have the trucks race in Le Mans. Right. And last weekend before we had the classic and historical cars with many very, very rare and very, very prestigious old cars. But
yeah, when I go to Le Mans, I stay there usually 5 days and then the whole weekend. So we go with a group of 10 people, something like that. Sometimes 12, sometimes 8. But we stay there for a long time, so I know the place very well.
I went in 2018. It was a great experience.
Oh, 2018. Was that where they after the last lap they broke down?
Yeah, that was when the Toyota is going to win, and it died right at the start finish line. Yeah.
Oh, was right at the start finish line when it happened.
Porsche won, and they didn't expect to win. It was amazing.
No, it was incredible. After 23 hours and what was it? 59 minutes, they broke down.
Oh, that's good.
Le Mans is 2 hours driving from my city. We had less than 2 hours.
Orléans, c'est très magnifique.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Marina, was there anything else new with you?
No, just lots of typewriters.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. Definitely, and it's always good seeing you. All right, and Andrew, how are you doing?
Oh, doing well. I won't take up too much time because I've been interrupting everybody else already. But
no, you get your time.
Thank you. You are the best moderator. So
thank you.
Yeah, still loving this SM7, and it's funny because I probably should send the Platin in. It's pretty hard, but I think I might go through withdrawal if I had to be without that machine while it's at the JJ Short, getting the Platin fixed. So yeah, so deciding when I'm going to do that. So and of course, it's like all of us. It's not like I don't have another machine I could use in the meanwhile, right?
I know, right?
but right now it's just emotionally I can't set it aside. So let's see. And I probably told you guys I found a 1929 Erica with a Spanish keyboard, which is QWERTY, but then it has the N with a tilde over it and has all the diacritical markings. And I took it over to the guy, and that was, the Platin was like a corn cob. I think that's how people describe it. It was just gone. And it wouldn't load paper. The feed rollers were all bad. And I took it over to Berkeley, and those guys really like it. So they're oh yeah, we'll take care of it, and they're going to send the platen in and get that all fixed. So I'll show everybody. It's definitely the oldest machine that I have, but people like Diane use machines from the 19th century, so a 1929 sounds new.
Yeah.
By comparison. So yeah, so I'm still looking and still having conversations with the guy who has the torpedo down in Watsonville. It's just such a long drive that I have to maybe work on the price a little bit, because those torpedoes are also can be expensive. We've been going back and forth, and we'll see if we can get the price down enough that it makes me want to drive 100 miles south and then come back and drive another 100 miles back up here. So
is it an 18 or an 18B?
Well, it's funny, the way it's described in the ad, if I can find it, was hold on, as like a Remington torpedo or something like that. Maybe I got it wrong. Hold on.
No, they did. Yeah. Remingtons are the later, I think they bought the torpedo company or something. Yeah. It should have the same sort of key feeling, but they're much more modern machines.
Okay. Well, maybe it's not the model that I want. He's got it for sale for $275, which is, I think, too high, but, and for someone who lives in the middle of nowhere. So,
does it have a plastic top?
Well, it's got the case, if that's what you're asking, and it's plastic.
A lot of the Remington torpedoes have a molded plastic ribbon cover.
It looks metal to me in the photographs, but maybe that's a question I need to ask the guys that continue this dialogue. And it's QWERTY, which is nice for a German machine.
Can you share a picture?
I probably could. In fact, this is exactly the audience that would be. Let me try it
again. I tried to send you a letter with my Remington. With my 61 Remington, but it's impossible because the print paper is too thin, and the pad of the Remington is too powerful, and it makes big holes in the paper. And I have to find a new. I have to find new paper more less thin, because it's impossible to use it.
Yeah, you could just send him confetti.
Sounds like he almost did.
Yeah.
and change the ribbon.
Yeah.
Was hell.
Oh, was it?
Was hell. Was difficult. Boy. So difficult, because I had to take the Olivetti ribbon, to cut the ribbon, and to adapt the Olivetti ribbon of the Remington, with the Remington system is beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
So is that a good one to get? I mean, it says torpedo; it doesn't say Remington. So
that's 18B. I don't think that's a Remington one.
Yeah, it looks like Remington to me.
I mean, it's very possible to get, and sorry to interrupt you, Christoph, I apologize, but I finally figured out how to share the picture, so I got excited, It's got, made in Western Germany. I mean, that looks metal to me, not plastic, right?
Yeah, it looks metal to me too.
Yeah.
And then it's got the case, which looks like it probably is plastic.
No.
I have a similar case.
Is it?
Grab that, Andrew. Grab it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know it's just
drive the 100 miles, man. Go grab it.
How does a machine like this wind up in Watsonville, California? That's like those farmers down there, I guess, had good European taste, and what they.
Sometimes they brought them back from the war and stuff. People were over there for World War II.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so many Americans were stationed in Germany. So,
is there a picture of the back of it online?
He didn't. I showed you all the pictures he had, so he didn't have the back of it.
Back of mine looks like this. Looks like.
Let me zoom in on you, Brian.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
So it does.
I could ask him, but it sounds like the consensus is I should get in the car and drive down there. So maybe by the next time I talk to you, I will have taken the plunge. But I appreciate the input, because and $275 is probably, considering no shipping and no sales tax, it's probably not a bad price. But
No,
I think I got to
go
work.
get
the
it.
guy. I think I got to work the guy a little bit more because he hasn't sold it yet. So maybe, because I'm telling you, where he lives, there's nobody within miles that is going to want a torpedo typewriter.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, but you know what, Andrew, a lot of times in the small towns, that's where you're going to find the best machines. It's probably well taken care of, probably doesn't need a lot of maintenance. My SG1 I found in Clyde, Texas, and I think the population is 150 people. Okay. And it worked right out of the gate. I mean, it suffered from being in a storage shed, but it really was well taken care of and well loved by the previous owner. So you should go get it.
Well, and then think, if you hadn't gone to get that typewriter, you probably never would have had a chance to visit Clyde, Texas.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good advice. So,
it also gave my husband the opportunity to stop at a restaurant which supposedly has the best chicken fried steak in all of Texas. So he was very excited about that.
Well, considering it's Texas, that's quite a boast.
Exactly.
It's just like this.
It looks exactly like that.
And that's a terrific typer. But this is a Bluebird. It was marketed to England.
It's
I think after getting bombed by Germany for so long, they didn't want to call it a torpedo.
Yeah.
Right. And on the back, it doesn't say, I'm having trouble with battery, so I can't disconnect my iPad, I'm afraid. But on the back, it's got
there we go.
Yeah.
Very
But
nice.
it's the same unit, I think, just a different nameplate.
Yeah.
Did you find it here in the States, or did you have to get it in Europe or in England? I mean, since we know that England's not Europe anymore, so want to make that distinction.
I'm having trouble remembering where I sourced this one. That's bad.
We had a lot of Bluebirds come into Canada.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Bluebird came into Canada as a British extension. And the way you can usually tell a Canadian machine that's coming out, because they were manufactured over there, the way you can tell is it'll have a dollar sign instead of a pound symbol. Like I think your Bluebird, Lynn, has a pound symbol up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a British machine, but if it had a dollar sign and it was a Bluebird, chances are it's a Canadian machine, because I don't know if we brought torpedoes in at that time. There was in London, Ontario, there was a machine distributor that brought in a few different manufacturers, like they brought in Voss, and they linked into some of those German manufacturers at the time, and you'll have there's a big silver plate on the back of them that'll be a Voss plate or a manufacturer's plate with distributed out of London, Ontario. And the Bluebirds came into Canada. So we'll see more Bluebirds than torpedoes. And they're all that color scheme. They're all that two-tone, really nice steel blue over a gray or a cream, depending on how it aged. And that's exactly what Andrew's talking about there on his torpedo. And they're a fantastic machine.
I have to say that the Bluebird
are here in
has a lot of fractions, Andrew. So.
Oh, well, you know how I love those.
I know. Maybe you want the torpedo version, not the Bluebird version.
All right, well, that's good to know. And then finally, and I'll give up the floor after this, does anybody collect these Everest typewriters from Italy? I saw a couple and they look really nice, but there's very little information about them. There's the K2, and then there's earlier ones that are called like Model M or something like that. I'll take that as a no.
I have my eye on one, but I'm worried that it's not worth the price. But it's so beautiful to look at.
They are really good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one, actually.
Yeah, they're, they look Italian, they're very high design. They've got like script that says Everest. And
there was also a model made for the US to be sold exclusively at Macy's. So you might.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, you might find them in like New York, or because there was an American, I mean, they were still made in Italy, but they were made for the US Macy's department store.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the plunge anytime soon. I mean, the torpedo machines, everybody talks about how wonderful they are, especially Lynn and Kimberly, right? So I always kind of keep an eye out for that. So anyway, that's all that's happening in my world. You know, lots of window shopping.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you like Hermes and Olympias, Torpedo's right in that.
In that category.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to know, Andrew.
What's that?
I said that's all you need to know, Andrew. You have to get.
Oh, I know. This is the perfect forum, you know.
Yeah. And of course, Lynn is our resident torpedo expert. So there you go. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Andrew.
Well, likewise. And thanks to everybody here on this group for all the information and advice. What a helpful, gang of people. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And Lynn, how are you?
Hey, good. I think I can unplug for a little while to show you what's going on here. I just got a delivery today.
Ooh.
Which bothers me no end that poor delivery people have to deliver things on Sunday. Mother's Day. God. Happy Mother's Day to everybody too.
Yeah.
So I got finally my first Luterra 35. And I've been curious about it because I've gotten the Underwood 319s thinking that they were basically the same unit. And here's a naked 319 and the Olivetti Luterra 35. And I think basically it is the same guts, that is all the same innards, except the spindles are a little different. I think that's an older model. And this is probably a newer model. But the big difference is that it's metal. I was so shocked. I had no idea that the Luterra 35s were metal, and the Underwoods are plastic. So this came today, the Luterra 35, and man, it was used by a smoking poet. Wow.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to take the case off and redo everything, and it needs a ribbon, but it's working. The other thing that's different.
I like it in green.
You what?
I like it in green. This is mine. With the.
Let me add you to the screen here. Let's see. There we go. Oh yeah.
This is one I use to write to people because it's extremely fine. And it's heavy. It's a very heavy typewriter. It's in metal and.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got the top needs a lot of cleanup, but yeah, it's a lot heavier than the 319 you could take anywhere. It's really portable, and this doesn't have the case top, which I got it on Shop Goodwill. Just didn't notice no case top on it.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't really drag typewriters around very much, so.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting to see that the two units are basically the same. The other thing is let me get this out of the way. The Carriage Returns goes like this, and the Underwood is just, it goes up and down, but it doesn't retract in the same way. So a few differences, but the guts are basically the same. Which is what I thought all along. And the other thing I got lately was a Underwood 3 bank. Where did I put it? There we go. All right. I was taking it apart, and the feet were like corks, so that's all broken. I'll have to fix that. And that'll work into my new YouTube thing about this typewriter broke. So I'll highlight how that can happen. But this is a nice 3-bank. Maybe I should get more light here. Really nice details. Works very well. It's got these guys. At first it wouldn't accept paper, but I took the platen out and kind of sanded it a little bit.
Okay.
And the rollers underneath, I sanded those a little bit, and now it works fine.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I got into, I'm starting to get some video together for a YouTube channel about typewriters being broke. But I was thinking about background music, and I have a gramophone, like a wind up 78 sort of gramophone thing. And I figure most of that music won't be under copyright anymore. So I'll be playing that in the background. So
yeah.
And I got lots of broken typewriters to highlight. So no problem there.
Yeah, and you know, I strongly encourage more YouTube creators for typewriters. I'm kind of shocked at how few channels there are for typewriters. You know, you'll get people that will do like maybe a one-off video, or you'll have people that are selling typewriters and they have these like 30-second to 1-minute videos that don't really help us.
Yeah.
So I highly encourage you to start a channel, and please do share it on here, because yeah, we need more typewriter content.
Well, in just starting out, it's kind of a lot of work. I mean, I think that's why most people don't do it. I mean, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, it does.
Then I've done some YouTube videos, not on typewriters. I did a few on fountain pens and some other things, but you know, it doesn't have to, you don't have to go crazy, right? So background music, you know, sometimes it's annoying. Maybe you don't need background music, you know, maybe a little intro and outro music.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And, you know, I recorded all of mine with my cell phone, right? I just bought I don't even know what it is. This is just like just a clip, I guess, right? It holds the cell phone and it's on a long bendy arm that you attach to the desk, and you can kind of like change the angles so you can get like an overhead angle of what you're doing on the you know, on the table kind of thing.
Yeah, I've got cameras and stuff. It's just the editing, you know, is pretty strenuous when you want to do a nice job. So
that's true.
Yeah, I suggest you practice and try one take.
Oh, not edit.
Yeah.
Seriously, and you know, it's actually not as hard as, you know, hey, that's what I did. Practiced it, and then one take, right? Then unless there's a major gaffe, you can just chop out a chunk. But yeah.
I've watched a lot of videos where the presenter says, I don't edit, you know, feel free to fast forward. You know.
Yeah. Oops, I didn't mean that. I meant this.
Yeah.
No big deal, right? Or even if you say something wrong and people put up a little asterisk on the screen and say, I meant to say, you know, it's fine, right? I mean, unless you want, you know, to be super polished, but no, yeah, you don't want to make it so much work that you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, Gregory, I think that's why there aren't a lot of typewriter channels. I think that a lot of people that get into typewriters and fountain pens, a lot of these kind of analog technologies, are doing it to get away from their digital life. Like I work in IT, and a lot of it is just to get away from it, right? Film cameras and fountain pens and typewriters and vinyl records. I just want to get away from my digital life, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I've noticed that being off work, like it's crazy. You don't think you spend any time online, and then your iPad tells you you've been online 6 hours. I'm like, oh my God. my Bible.
Yeah.
I would never let my iPad tell me anything like that.
I don't want to know. It's like how many calories are in
Lynn, it doesn't tell you that every Sunday morning. It does. It's your weekly update, and this is how much you spent online this week.
Yeah.
No, that would be insane to sign up for that.
Yeah,
anyway, that's enough for.
Yeah, it basically my advice to you is just be yourself. Just make the videos. If you do need to do minor editing, go for it. But to start, just keep it simple, and you can always grow from there. And as you build experience with the YouTube videos, you can make it more and more advanced. And that's what I did with like my music YouTube channel. So definitely, I used to just set the camera there and start talking, and I wouldn't even edit. But then I got to the point where, well, I say ums and ahs a lot, so I started cutting those out, and I added an intro and an outro. It takes time, but it's fun too. So yeah. But I would be very curious to see any videos that you post. So please do.
Okay.
Yeah. And as always, it's so good to see you, Lynn.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. All right. Mac, how are you doing?
Hello.
Sorry, sleeping on the switch. Great, Greg. Thanks for doing this again. I don't know. I do have something new. So there was a typewriter deal that happened yesterday, and instead of just something going out, something came in, and it's a little bit different. Well, it's run of the mill, but it's doing something a little bit different to me, maybe not to you guys. So this is kind of what it's doing.
Oh, 6 CPI.
It's monstrous, like comically monstrous, but it's different, and it'll grab some attention. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. Why did they do this? It kind of looks like it might have been a Scholastic machine, because it has all the math symbols on the fourth bank. So it's something I think maybe teachers were using to make up sheets of paper that they'd run through a ditto machine for primary school students. I don't know. I'm really stretching to figure that out. So I'm sure Ted would tell us exactly what it was for and how many of them he had. But yeah, I don't know. So I hung on to it. I took it in as a little bit of a trade on the one that went out, just because it was interesting. That's it.
I think Malin Travis is like the 6 CPI.
Oh, there's a guy.
Okay, yeah, I do know Malin has at least a few of those, but it's been a while since
it's called bulletin typeface, and it was designed for like pamphlets and church bulletins, and
yeah,
could be, yeah.
Organizations used them for their flyers and stuff like that. I think that's what they were. I think that's usually what the type is called, is bulletin.
I have a bulletin, but it's 10 CPI. It's not 6. Like it's just regular.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, every time you hit the letter on this thing, it's like you hit the tab key. The carriage moves so much. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, sorry, go ahead.
Those are very, very high on my wish list. I would love to have one of those. Yeah, but no luck for me, but my goodness, that's quite a find. Definitely.
But yeah, like it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. It'll definitely use up more paper.
Yeah. I think William also has a 6 CPI, and I think he's known for writing letters with it. So
well, that's what I thought. If you get like Joe Van Cleve's, on the roll, like the what's his face? Was Kerouac that used the roll?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll do it on the roll and then just put it in a tube to mail it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely quite a find.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and
yeah,
see if I can get some answers from the people that know, because it was kind of strange.
Yeah, I think I was trying to remember, because we had that conversation so long ago now that I was trying to remember, but I think what Susan was saying is partially correct. I seem to remember there being talk about labels as well, like product labels, that sort of thing.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But it's even huge to like address envelopes. I've got a Boss machine that is supposedly 10 characters per inch, but I think the typeface is tall, so it looks larger than 10 an inch, and it's great for envelopes. Really nice for addressing envelopes. But like this would be comically huge for envelopes. So yeah, it's just different.
Yeah. Well, that's a good different. If you ever get tired of it, just send it south.
I'll send it down to you, buddy. It's missing a platen knob, so you can only use it if you're left-handed.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a 12 series.
Okay. Let me zoom in on you here real quick. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I like that.
So, but it's well, this side.
Now, what does the ruler go to?
50.
50. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Maybe I get it in there and show you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 50, and like when you.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like you hit the tab bar every time you hit the
I
paper.
know. Yeah. Oh wow.
But yeah, that's all that's new in my world.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I see, I believe, a new face, Steve.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, I am new, and I am recently retired from full-time employment, and that's how I make time for typing.
There you go. And there's the typing prompt. Excellent. Thank you.
Right. So Susan said a number of things that I was just laughing. I was just watching the YouTube video, and she said a lot of things that I related to and was laughing about. So I joined in, because I'm if I get involved in something, and fountain pens was another one. I had to discover Parker Vacuumatics from the late 30s and early 40s, and got a couple of those. So yeah, I guess I'm a typewriter snob. She mentioned Darwin Raymond, and I've bought 2 typewriters from him, and drove through Glenwood Springs one time, but didn't jump into the water. Probably should have. And so I have 4 manual typewriters, and yeah, I'm doing quite a bit of typing. So it's I took typing back in like 1976 in high school, and we had these big old, I remember these Remingtons, I think they were, and just no letters on the keys, and a big chart at the front of the room. And I did pretty good at that. And since I was flunking out of math, I thought maybe I found something that I liked to do there. So I've been watching a lot of Joe Van Cleve videos, and he's just got such a great energy about typing, and he cracks himself up and smiles about the stuff he's doing, and he just looks like he's having a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, let's see.
So what do you mostly do with the typewriters?
I am getting up in the morning, and I've got a sheet in there ready to go. I put the date and the time, and I start my morning rant, I call it. So I'm doing that, and I bought one thing I bought from him was a Olympia SG1, and so I love the massiveness and the weight and just everything about that. I mean, other than the lack of portability, it's perfect. So I like that. And so I'm doing that. That one has an Elite font, so I kind of like that. And then I'll embarrass myself and say what I got. So I got a Olympia SM3 that has pica. And I'm not that wild about pica now. I think it's a little big, but and then I have the obligatory Hermes 3000, which perhaps like Susan, mine's a 69 and has the script font. I think she said that was what hers had. And that's probably the most beautiful font I got. And so my game plan there is to use that for the Type Pals. And I think that would be good for sending letters to people. And I have a little, I think she mentioned a Traveler Deluxe. So I got one of those. And so I just went on the iconic top hit list there, I guess. But so I have those four and enjoy all four of them. So, you know, I see a lot. I wanted typewriters I could use, not just look at. And so one reason why I went to that Darwin was to get ones in really nice shape that were ready to go, new platens. And I just look into a typewriter. I'm thinking there's no way if something goes wrong with this, I'm screwed. And I've had some shipping, even though that guy does an unbelievable job, double boxed, packaged as well as you can imagine. When I got my SG1, the paper injector was bent a little bit, and I could see in the pictures prior it was not. And I think it got hit on the corner and bent it a little bit. But I was able to pretty much straighten it out. But that paper injector just cracks me up. If I'm feeling down, I just start laughing. I didn't know such a thing existed. I think that thing's hilarious.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, isn't it? The paper injector is amazing.
Yes.
The only standard I have is the SG1, and it is a fabulous machine. And I use it for writing letters. I mean, I write letters, I journal with it, I do everything with the SG1. But mine has the senatorial font, which is a lot of fun. And I love that machine. So everybody rush out and get you an SG1.
I know, right?
I'll tell you where I screwed, Darwin, he sends a silk ribbon, which I have found now that's what I really like. But here's where I screwed up though. I saw those ribbons with the black nylon and the correction tape on the bottom.
Oh.
Have you seen, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't take long for some of that to flake off into my brand new pristine typewriter. And I had bought three of those, and I threw all three of them in the garbage. And I just have all silk now. So it's, I think when you see all the print these days that's so perfect, you forget that back in the old days, it wasn't jet black perfection. Because the first time I started typing, I thought, well, gosh, this could be darker. This could be, I don't know. I just forgot. It's like, yeah, this is what a typewriter looks like. It depends how hard you hit the keys. It depends on if your finger slides off the edge of one and you miss.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like to when I'm using or I'm typing a small A, my finger loves to grab the Q on the way down. You know, I'm hitting that edge of that Q, so I'm trying to break myself of that habit. But
yeah,
yeah, but my 1-year anniversary for being retired is coming up, and I just can't put that. I'm trying to put that in words, I guess, with my typewriter, but it's tough because it's pretty great.
yeah, excellent. It's definitely.
I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, so. You know, in Game of Thrones, they got that motto, winter is coming, you know, they say. Well, in this part of the country, we say summer is coming. And, it's time to prepare and batten down the hatches and make sure the air conditioning's functioning properly.
Yeah. I'm in Southern California, so I'm right there with you. Yeah.
We might have an edge in humidity. I don't know.
Definitely, yes. Definitely, yeah.
But
and let's see. And I apologize if I missed it in what you were saying, but do you have a favorite typewriter?
I think that SG1 is
SG1, yeah.
I like the 4 I have. I like them all, but other than that portability issue, I have enough room for it. You know, you got to set that thing down and leave it alone. It has a pretty big footprint, but there's nothing about that I don't like.
Yeah.
And then that paper injector is just the cherry on top of the ice cream. That's just too much fun.
I definitely want one of those.
Well, they make a model that doesn't have the paper injector, so don't get that.
Yeah, exactly. That's half the fun right there.
Right.
Now, are there any typewriters that are still on your wish list, or are you just done looking, or?
You know, Joe Van Cleef said maybe you're a person who wants a lot of typewriters in your collection, or maybe you just want a few that work. And I'm hoping I'm leaning that way.
Yeah.
but you know, I don't have any Royal. Having said that, I don't have any Royal typewriters, and I think that Futura 800 is pretty cool looking.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then just the Silent Deluxe, I believe.
The Quiet Deluxe, yeah.
Yeah, Quiet Deluxe. That's right.
Yes.
And
if you do like standards, and obviously you do because you like the SG1, the Royal FP is a wonderful machine, and usually we have Sean on here, and he collects those, and he gets them in all the different colors. So I'm kind of jealous. I just have the gray one, but it still has some nice character to it. So there's some nice touches in the design, and it doesn't suffer from a lot of the problems that like the Quiet Deluxe does, which is they're known for the skipping. If you don't have a perfect tempo on your typing, you can get some skips in there, but not with the FP. So yeah.
FP. All right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Thanks. I'm glad I've had fun listening to everyone, and I'll try to check in on Sundays.
Yeah, we would love that. Definitely. The more the merrier. Very cool. All right. And Carlos, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Excellent.
I have 2 new additions.
Yes.
Actually, I want to share something with you. I don't know if you can see the date on that.
Oh.
And this is for the paperwork.
Oh.
And yeah, it came with these little correction things.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing came pretty pristine. This is probably the cleanest typewriter I bought, where it doesn't seem I had to do much cleaning. Just a little bit just here, but the keys, you know, good. It's okay. I'll do for now, I guess. Eventually, over the summer, I want to replace a lot of them. So that's one.
Have you looked up what year that one is?
I haven't looked at the
Okay.
serial number yet. I need to clean it, and then
Yeah.
the little that I do need to clean it, and then. Exciting thing is that this one has a tabulator. This is my first typewriter, other than the thermals that has a tabulator.
Yeah.
So that's neat. So yeah, that was been. I think I was talking to Andrew last time about it. That I found it online on Facebook, and I was debating whether I should get it. But yeah, I have a Splendid 33, and I really like how that typed. So I figured this probably would be better. So yeah, so far it's been working out. It feels really nice.
Yeah.
And then the last one is this. Someone mentioned this is kind of like part of a tank. It feels like, but it's this daisy wheel typewriter, which is I think Joe Van Cleef had a video on it, and mostly I just wanted something with a clean typeface.
Yeah.
So this is, it feels that neat, I guess. I think a couple of weeks ago you had the type prompt about what is your collection philosophy, and I guess mine is kind of like in the portable, because all of my typewriters have cases with them. So
okay.
I wouldn't say that report it's portable, but you can technically lug it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Christoph that was showing one of those. He didn't have the cord with his, but he picked his up for $3. So
yeah, mine was 10, I think. So
okay,
yeah,
not bad.
Nobody seems to want them, and the nice thing is that the font is kind of like, for me, it's like a sans serif where everything looks capitalized.
Yes.
I think it's called I forget what it's called, Communicator or something. I don't remember which one it's called. Orator.
Okay.
Something like that. But I'm replacing it. I bought a replacement print wheel, so that's the nice thing about these. You can get different fonts.
Exactly. Wait, where did you buy that from? The
Shop Goodwill.
Oh, okay. But the daisy wheel, where did you get that, or the print wheel?
Oh, that was on eBay.
Okay.
This is my $3 Olympia.
Yep, there we go. It's like twins.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like quick. It's kind of
one with electricity and one without.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have a lot of Olympias. That's my third one.
Yeah. You're kind of falling into that niche, I guess you might say.
Yeah, and I think at this point I have enough that I have a good rotation.
Yeah.
I think the only thing left is over the summer I want to replace the platinums on most of them, just to be nice and new, so to speak, as new as I can get them.
And I have the guarantee card from the typewriter, but I don't think I will ask for a guarantee. No. It's
let me zoom in on you. Oh, 1984.
Nice.
Like me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it might not be good anymore.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was surprised that my machine didn't come broken, because they just packed it with like stuff on the outside and there's nothing on the inside other than the receipt.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worried that something wasn't going to work, but it works perfect. So
well, I think the main thing with those electronic daisy wheels is potentially the sort of print unit that holds the ribbon and moves across as it's typing. Technically, that should be held in place during the shipment. You don't want that moving around. So theoretically, damage could occur with that. But I haven't had any problems with those being shipped, and I've had some of the really old like early 80s daisy wheels, the Smith Corona Ultrasonics, and those are absolute beasts. I've had those shipped, and they always work. And the one that didn't work, it was actually a keyboard issue. So yeah,
that's the only thing. I think Joe Van Cleve also had this issue where some of the keys wouldn't work, so I had to use alcohol to kind of clean up the contacts, I think. And I think they got most of them working now. There's still a few that are a little sticky, so I think I might have to go back in there and do that again. But otherwise, I mean, it looks like a pretty reliable machine. I just had to clean it up a little bit last night, and hopefully it's a nice, as a good. I don't have to maintenance it like I would imagine as much as a Selectrix, which is the other one I was eyeing. But I don't know. This one seems a little bit more. Probably will last me a little longer without maintenance issues.
Yeah. Have you looked to see how readily available the ribbons are? I don't think they're hard to find.
No, Ribbons Unlimited had some. So
okay.
I actually, and then the ribbon that it came with actually still had like half a spool, I think. So
yeah.
And the corrector still works that's on it, so I'm just gonna use that. And I'm just gonna wait for the new typeface to play around with it, because it's a little weird. I mean, it just looks like all uppercase writing.
No, yeah. I do enjoy those, but yeah, you don't necessarily want to write a letter in that. Maybe like a telegram or something, but
it kind of feels like that. Like it's a telegram.
Yep.
Typeface,
yeah, but that's the huge benefit of the daisy wheels, and why I really like them is the ability to change the typeface, because you can't do that on a regular type, a manual typewriter. So, and oftentimes it's even hard to find the different typefaces, at least at bargain prices.
Yeah.
So that's
what I found is that the Swintech daisy wheels fit this. So
perfect. And that company still exists. So
yeah. So that's why it's like I saw a box somewhere on eBay that said that it was a Swintech print wheel, and then it had this model on the back. So I was like, okay, so I can look for these, and I know they fit. So that's how I cross-reference.
Cool.
I don't know if you need to replace the platinum on these, but it's kind of interesting that it's such a big platinum, I guess.
Yeah, all the daisy wheels I've seen, probably because they're much newer than the manual typewriters. The platins haven't really been an issue. And I think that especially since the actual characters are plastic rather than metal, you're not gonna have that same sound that you would get from a manual typewriter with a hard platen. So
I don't think I would change that one out. I would just change all my manual ones, but just because I saw how big it was, I wonder if people change these out.
Yeah, not to my knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, the big one that I need to change is my Hermes rocket. That one skips sometimes when I do the iron feed. So yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm glad to see that you updated the settings for the Zoom.
Yes. Type and Talk. Yeah. Did you attend it last night?
Yeah. I kind of was on and off, but yeah.
Okay. Was it the usual crowd in there, or?
Yeah, it's the usual crowd.
Okay. I may just leave it so that on the list of events that it still has the hours that we've had in the past, because since it's limited to TypePals members, I don't know that there's enough members to warrant having 24/7 access. I'm gonna leave that available, obviously, but maybe as far as promoting Type and Talk, I'll continue.
Yeah, I think it's better that there's a set time, because otherwise you log in and there's no one there. I might post on if people are available Friday nights, because sometimes I'm available those nights. If someone wants to hop on.
I actually was kind of funny because Diane sent me a message saying she was in Type and Talk, and this was on Friday evening, and I was headed out. Otherwise, I probably would have joined her, but no one ended up coming in, so I felt kind of bad. But yeah, there's always.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Hopefully, that at least makes it easier because I know before you had to like run back and try to set it up.
Yes.
Yeah, so
that's definitely the
nice
main benefit. Definitely. Yeah. Very cool. All right. And anything else new with you?
No, I'm gonna go watch the F1 race in a little bit, but
yeah. Excellent. Very cool. All right. Well, it's good seeing you. And Roger, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good.
Had some things going on with typewriters this week or last week. I bought some ribbons from an online store, and they got sort of mixed up. I got an all black one, which I didn't think I ordered, but then again, it's not too bad. I can use it. And I got a red and black one, which I did order, but it's so small, it doesn't fit my typewriter. So it's probably for a calculator machine or something.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work sometime. And last week I was at work listening to your podcast, and I thought it was strange. It sounded familiar. And I was also talking to a coworker after a while, and he said, "Well, is that you talking?" I said, "Well, that would be weird." And so I listened and I said, "Yep, that's me talking about my typewriter." So I didn't know it was going to be in the podcast, and I hadn't recognized myself. Had to listen to it again. So thank you. How about royalties?
I know, right? If I ever get royalties, then you will get royalties.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I probably gonna get a new machine in the coming months. I posted some pictures on the Typewriters Collector group on Facebook. A friend of mine, his grandfather passed away, and he wanted to sell me his typewriter, so I'm gonna buy it from him. It's a Remington Rand with a white carriage.
Ah, okay.
So, but I don't know exactly which one or what type.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll have to check that.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. And anything else new with you?
Well, a little. As I've heard about talking about fountain pens.
Yes.
I use them a lot. I just wrote a letter in fountain pen. Now I'm typing the labels for the envelope, but that's not what I wanted to say. I ordered some cover for my dad's how you call it, not an iPod, the tablet, and I forgot I had the fountain pen in the basket from the store. So when I ordered the cover, I also got a fountain pen.
Oh.
one of the cheap Pelicans.
Oh, okay.
Nice surprise.
Yeah. Do you know what model of Pelican it is?
Yeah, it's the Happy Pen.
Oh.
It's a very cheap one. It's $3 or $4.
Perkio, I think.
What?
No, that's the Cabeco. No, and I'm thinking of the Kakuno, but that's Pilot, I think.
Yeah. Most of the cheap Pelicans are the Pelicanos, but this is not the twist, not a Pelicano up. It's Happy Pen.
Okay.
It's called that way, Happy Pen.
Interesting. I'll have to look for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Pelican Twist, and then I also have The Pelican ILO. ILO.
Yeah, I haven't got that one yet.
Okay. That's it. That's a pretty good one. I actually recommend that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I like it better than the twist. The twist is kind of fun to have, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mostly use the Pelicano regular ones because I have my dad's from the 60s. I've got mine from the 70s, 80s, and I got a modern one and some in between.
Okay.
So
very cool.
I only have one Pelican, but it was the one that they made as a replica of an older design. And it's the small M101, but the N, like it was a special release. So normally the small pens don't come with a gold nib. This one has a gold nib.
Yeah.
And I love the look of it, the vintage look. So you're talking about the ones that you've inherited. It's like, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. And anything else new with you, Roger?
Not much. Nope.
Not much. Okay. Well, I would say it's good to see you, but but it's good to hear from you, though. Definitely.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I still don't have a camera, and I'm not gonna buy one recently too. So my room is a mess. So nobody needs to see that.
Yeah, and it's perfectly okay. I want people to participate in this however they feel comfortable, even if they just want to stay in the chat and don't want to talk. That's fine too. So
yeah.
You know what, Roger? No judgment. I am openly admitting the worst housekeeper. I don't care if there's cobwebs or whatever. This is blurred, but I usually don't. You usually can see.
Yeah. Have you put in the blur on yourself?
I did just on my iPad just today, but I usually don't, and I'm usually in pajamas or something ridiculous. Like, there's no shame. There's no shame.
That's what I do too sometimes. So that's another reason. But now we're talking about the blur. I got a question. Last week I was looking at someone, and did she have a fake background?
You can. On the iPad, you can. It's one of your choices in the Zoom settings for your backgrounds. You can put a picture or a blur or no background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know not Marina. Oh, I'm gonna draw a blank on her name, but
the one with 2 houses. I'm drawing a blank on her name as well.
Yeah.
The one with 2 locations, and she'll say my typewriter's at the other house.
Yeah, she always uses the backgrounds. Yeah.
Well, 2 houses, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I still live with my mom and dad again.
It's Angela, isn't it? Angela.
Angela, you
Angela,
got it.
yes, Angela.
Like Angela.
See, there's so many people that have been on Typewriter Club Live now. It's like, wow, I have like so many names in my head.
But I feel like I'm visiting with friends. Like we could be having a cup of coffee and we're just chatting amongst friends. That's why I'm telling Roger, who cares if the background's a mess? We're not here to look at your house and spy on you. We're here to chat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and you see how full my shelves are there. Yeah. Definitely. I did notice, unlike last week, which we had almost no YouTube comments, this week there's a lot. So I'm going to see if I can share that real quick. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So we have Mark 80 Bojang Running Wild says, I got another Hermes 3000 a couple months ago.
I noticed the keyword is another. Dude.
Yeah. M6 Pops says, Fawcett and other off the radar European machines are my goal. Hermes, Olympias, Gromas are the Smith Coronas of the States. Yeah, definitely in Europe, they have easy access to those machines, whereas we have easy access to the Smith Coronas and what have you. I guess Royals maybe. Jovan Cleves says, Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I agree. Dan Rubin Says, hi everyone, currently on a flight to LAX, so can't join in, but at least the Wi-Fi is good enough to watch. Well, he's on a flight to LAX. Well, he might as well pop on over here to Riverside. Let's see. Then Ruse Watson says Hermes 3000 are going for $1,000 and above here in Australia. Dan Rubin says, love this week's prompt. I try to at least type up to-do lists most days, which typewriters have been so much better for than anything else for me. Also, making sure I travel with a machine wherever I go. Currently using a lovely orange Olympia Traveler, which is on my wish list. Had it with me last week on a project in Nashville, and it's with me today to LA.
I like my Traveler, but it's my ugliest of all my typewriters.
Really? What color do you have?
The white with the black, like the Stormtrooper kind of look.
That's another one that I want. I want the white with the black. I like that. So send it down.
Well, I'm not a Star Wars person. I'm more of a Star Trek person.
Well,
or a Firefly. I'm more of a Firefly girl, so the Star Wars look doesn't suit me.
Oh, well, I can understand that. You know, we all have our different tastes. But.
Yeah, but it's a lovely little machine. I actually like it, and it's very light. And I thought it would be flimsy or cheap, but you know what? I've been very hard wearing on it, and it's great. It's held up great.
Excellent, excellent. All right, then Dan Rubin continues. I picked up a Bluebird branded 18B a few months ago, right before leaving for the States, so haven't had a chance to do anything but look at it for a few minutes. Let's see. I think they have kind of an inside conversation going on there. Dan Rubin says, lifelong tech, digital creative, but old enough to have learned to type on a typewriter and use manual tools for everything when I was young. Here we go. Ted Monk talked about 6 CPI is usually for speech writing, bulletins, school lessons, and labeling. So we had 2 of those. So excellent. I forgot about speech writing, and that totally makes sense because you want to be able to easily read it. Definitely. Very cool. Thank you, Ted. That is awesome. And he says, basically anywhere that large type is wanted, they drive like a truck. And he says that's a BB reference. I'm not sure what that is, but then Dan Rubin, I'll be in Tallahassee briefly next month. Must be nearly 20 years since I was last there. Dan Rubin really gets around. Like, I mean, yeah. When he first spoke to us, I think he was in the UK. And then at another point, I think he was in
Austria.
Yeah, Austria, yeah. And then Florida, and wow. And now he's headed to California.
Grass does not grow beneath his toes.
Exactly. Let's see. Then Dan Rubin says, I need more machines with paper injectors. And I agree with that. I need one with a paper injector because that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun. His Hermes Ambassador has one. Kat says hello. Hello, Kat. There are a lot of cats in the typewriter community. I've noticed.
You mean the name cat or the animal cat?
Well, I mean the animal cat, but I suspect this person is just calling themselves cat. But yeah, we always have cats popping up on the screen during these meetings. So, and then Ruth says, I'm picking up an Olivetti Lexicon 80 today. Dan says, love my Lexicon 80, a lot smaller than I imagined it would be before I saw it in person. And Ruth says, I'm refurbishing one and going to buy one today for spares. The one that I am refurbishing has a wide carriage and is really heavy. And Kat says, cat power. Excellent. Very cool. Now, oh yes, Steve has one. Excellent.
Yep.
I like that. Okay.
Hey.
Stormtrooper never crossed my mind.
Well, now it will.
And it's got an italic font, which is pretty nice.
There you
Mine's-
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine-
And how is that to type on?
I like, you know what? I don't know if I'm not that picky or what, but I like all the typewriters I have. I've had fun with all of them. I've got a bag. I put that one in, a la Jovan Cleve, and I've been outside, find a picnic table. I'm not willing to do it maybe in front of other people, but you know, I take my standard poodle out, and he doesn't understand it at all. But
Oh,
yeah, we go sit at a picnic table, and yeah, I type away. I like it.
that is
I found-
awesome.
It's very light to touch. Not mushy, like it doesn't feel anything like my Olivetti Luterra, which is also very light to the touch. But you know, of all my machines, it has the least amount of like kickback. You know, it doesn't. So you might find it's too light, like if you're a very strong with your fingers. But I don't know, it works well. I like it. I just think it's ugly. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I mean, I like ugly dogs. I like, you know, it's still like lovable, but
Excellent. There's just something about those typewriters, like in pretty much every color, that I really like. I think it's because they're so unique. They don't look like any other typewriter.
True.
Although I have made a sort of comparison to the Underwood 315, but it's still quite a bit different from that. So yeah. Plus to me, the Underwood 315 isn't nearly as nice looking as those Traveler Deluxes. To look at, those are probably one of my absolute favorite typewriters. So, and again, I want the orange with the white trim.
I like color ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a red, well, it's a Unis TBM Deluxe, which is basically the same thing, just rebranded. But I have a red with white trim, which is, I call my Santa typewriter. It literally looks like Santa. So yeah, and it has a good feel. So that makes me hopeful of one day finding my orange with white trim Traveler Deluxe, and then I could just stop my search for all typewriters. I don't know about that, but excellent. And now go ahead, Steve.
What can you say about you? Do you have a Futura 800?
I do, and I've had at least two of them, maybe three. I'm currently down to one, and I love it. Now, it does sometimes suffer from the skipping issue, but looks wise, is one of my favorite typewriters also. And you know, once you get used to the typewriter, the skipping issue tends to go away. And so I love the Futuras. And I would love to get one of the green ones. I think those are the more rare ones, is a green one. Usually you find the gray ones, and then they have the blue also. Do they have a pink? I think they have a pink also. But the green.
I prefer to call that salmon, because I don't really want to have a pink typewriter.
There you go.
And copper, I don't know.
Yeah. I can agree, because, and basically the color is more salmon than actual pink. So yeah. We can agree on that. Yeah, definitely. But I would definitely recommend those. I like those better than the Quiet Deluxes. Just overall package, like the look and the feel and just how it works. I definitely like the Futuras better. Yeah, so I would recommend those. Yeah. Larry, you look like you're deep in thought.
Yeah. Well, I hear you talking about Futuras. I like my Futuras. I have two of them, luckily. And and you're not allowed to talk about your favorite typewriter. So I'm not, because they might hurt the other one's feelings. So I'm not gonna say they're my favorite, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And yeah, I'd like a green one. And I agree with you on the salmon, because it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look pink to me, but of course it could be faded. It occurs to me, you know, my blue's kind of faded.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
both 1958 typewriters. So the one came, I got in the mail, and the escapement was in pieces. It just fell out of the box in pieces. The escapement did. It was busted in 3 pieces, the star wheel and the escapement. So I went on eBay and happened to find parts. Somebody had an exploded view of all these parts. I'm like, that's what I need. And I ordered it. So it's a 58 escape. No, it's a 57 escapement and a 59 escapement and a 58 typewriter, but it works just fine. Yeah, so I just love those things. So
Yeah.
they're beautiful looking and they feel great. And I like clunky keys. I don't like the skinny keys for some reason. I like them so I can't get my fingers caught between them or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And the push button ribbon cover release is
cool.
Probably almost as fun as the paper injector. Almost, not quite, but
yeah, it's neat that they did the logo and made it like, and it's almost like a taillight on a car or something, you know, as far as the kind of plastic it is.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So is there anything new in your world, Larry? Any new typewriters or what have you been typing lately or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, I wrote 5 songs yesterday and like 1 or 2 the day before. And when I say I wrote the songs, I wrote 2 songs with words. Like the day before yesterday, I wrote 1, and then yesterday I wrote 1. But I wrote 5 songs yesterday, just music. So I've been really busy with music. And so, but the only reason I wrote the music is I was hoping it'd inspire me to do words, because what happens, as you know, I take music I already know, like the Beatles or something, and I put words to it. Yeah. Well, that's great, but I want to develop my own thing. And so it occurs to me, if I'm inspired by something that I'm just playing around with, maybe I would be inspired with words too. But that's that, you know, every songwriter probably says, yeah, that's kind of the trick. You got to be able to get both of them, not just one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now, I believe it was last week you got your new guitar. How is that?
I love that thing. The thing that's interesting, I mean, it's a Gibson, and everybody knows, and even people that don't know guitars know, oh wow, it's a Gibson, that's a good guitar. And it's a 12-string Gibson, so that's really special. I mean, as far as, you don't even see as many of them, and it's more expensive, and they brag about how the sound and everything, and yeah, it sounds great, and the strings are as low as any I've ever had on one. And my Ovation guitar that I bought for, let's see, about 1/10 of the price of my Gibson. My Ovation, I played it yesterday because I drop tuned it 1 step so I could sing certain songs better, even though I still have a hard time singing anyway. But sometimes you need to adjust the key to your voice better. And so I leave that one drop tuned. And I played that thing and I'm like, man, this is a beautiful guitar. And then I looked at it. My brand new Gibson, like a week old Gibson, is like totally this top. I've got it all scratched up. Really, like it looks almost like Willie Nelson's already. Like it's got a pick guard that's colored. It's blue now for my picks. Blue. This I wear my picks down. This pick right here is all over my pick guard now. And it's incredible. These are my 2 picks, but I wear them down like crazy. If I got to pick a little deeper, I use this one. But I've worn out the top of that Gibson. So just last night, I got my Ovation out. I just kind of looked at it because I figured, well, it must be wearing that out too. It doesn't have a mark on it. And I'm like, wow. So the difference is that Ovation's got this rounded back on this plastic rounded back, and it must hold it at an angle that I never noticed it before, because I got a big old Takamine dreadnought I've had for 25 years that I got the top all torn up on, and I never really noticed I didn't tear the top up on my Ovation. I'm like, wow, this is, I love that Ovation. And I hated it at first, the back of it. I always loved the sound of it, but the back, it's like it kind of slips off you and it kind of curves. I thought, why didn't they put some non-slip on the back or something? But you get used to it. It's weird. You get used to holding it a certain way. And then it occurs to me, gee, I hear it better because it tilts up a little bit. So I hear it, and then it's plugged into electronics, so they hear it too. And then I can see what I'm doing better. It's comfortable. I guess Ovation claims that rounded back projects the sound out better. It's an amazing guitar. And the only reason, I thought it's so amazing that I really wanted to go out and look for a Gibson. An Ovation that was a top of the line Ovation instead of mine, the bottom of the line Ovation. Because I thought, well, gee, if I love this, just think how the top of the line Ovation is. Well, I never tried one, but I don't know anywhere you can go except online and get 2 years 0% financing. And the only 2%, the only 0% 2 year financing I could find was for a Gibson, not for an Ovation. So it's like, well, you know what? I can't go wrong with a Gibson. And it's a great guitar. But I'm still really impressed with that. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
It's just, there's a typewriter in there somewhere. Hey, I type all the time for songs, all the time. I write songs every week. Sometimes.
Yeah. And you do the typewriter poetry as well, right?
Yeah. A lot of times what I do is I'll start a poem and then it'll turn into a song. But if I can't turn it, if it's not going very well with the song, I'll leave it a poem and post it as a poem.
Yeah, that works.
You got to recycle stuff.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's see. Okay. I noticed Ted in the YouTube comments is explaining BB. Earlier he mentioned that there was a BB reference. So BB stands for Buckaroo Banzai. Okay, I haven't seen that in many years. So yeah. Okay, cool.
I wrote a song yesterday, or not, the day before yesterday. It's called Apathetic Robots. I hated the song, but I felt every bit of it because it was about when I used to drive to work. I'm retired now, but I felt like prostitute. I felt like a robot. I felt like I'm part of a machine. I felt like I was in the rat race. So all these things I wrote about, and one of the words I used was like they drive like NASCAR heroes, boogity, boogity, boogity to work, So you reminded me of that when you said that, those words, bonsai, whatever. I forget what you said now.
Buckaroo Banzai, yeah.
Booty, booty. I saw when I looked at the website to sign in today, I saw where you got us up 24/7 now. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was actually Carlos's idea.
All right.
There was just a setting in Zoom where I could make it so that people could log into the Type and Talk basically at any time without me having to set it up. So there you go.
Yeah, I brought that up last week. I asked if you could do that, and you said you were going to check into it.
Yeah, and Carlos did the work for me.
Wow. See, that's so I saw that and I'm like, that because there are a lot of times I'm like, I have nothing to do right now. What am I going to do? I don't want to play right now. My voice is worn out, but I wouldn't mind going on and see if somebody wants to get on here and talk about whatever, so.
Yeah. If you're going to do it outside of the usual hours of Type and Talk, I would definitely recommend inviting someone, a Type Pals member. It is limited to Type Pals members, but I would do that because otherwise you're gonna probably sit there by yourself. But
Well, wait, I live in the country, and I'm used to like just having a blank stare, sitting on the porch. It's just kind of a blank stare. So I'll just sit here and stare. And if somebody shows up, I'll be like, oh.
Oh man, you're too funny, Larry. You always put a smile on my face.
I'm gonna laugh, if you don't laugh, you might cry,
I know, yeah. I see Ken is joining us. I'm not sure if he's available to speak. There he is. How are you, Ken?
Yeah. Oh, doing okay. Just catching the last part. I caught part of it on YouTube, but then thought we'd jump on and try to catch up. I did have one question on I've got this typewriter, if I can find it. And I'm trying to find out. I went to the Ted Monk's database, and all I've got is a serial number. So, but it's an old Underwood. And let's see if I can share the screen. See what you see. Do you guys see that?
It's popping up right now. There we go. You see a picture?
Yes.
What model is? Do you guys know what model that is?
Ooh.
That's the only picture they have of it, and it's within 12 miles from where I live, but I don't know if it's I couldn't tell from the serial number what it was, but well, that's all right. We might pass on it. It looks like it needs to work, but
I got a question for you, Roger.
Yeah.
Like will it make a difference what model it is? Are you looking for like rarity or something, or because I could pretty much guarantee it's not a rare one, but it's a nice one. It's gonna type nice and it's gonna be fun to type on, unless you already have one,
Now everything I've got now are Smith Coronas, Luterras, and Hermes. I don't have any big. I think Joe Van Cleef was talking about a big, like a KKM. I was kind of looking around for a Royal. I think it's KKM.
Yeah,
you're talking about,
yeah,
something big, a big console one. It'd be nice to. And I saw that. And I was like, well, that'd be a nice console one anyway, or a big one.
Yeah.
Everything else I've got are portables or semi. The Corona 5 and 4 series, but
yeah. We have had a lot of talk in this episode about the SG1, the Olympia.
Oh, right.
SG1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That'd be a nice big one for you, especially with the paper injector there.
You'd think in Texas there'd be a lot of German machines, but there aren't. I haven't found a whole lot of them. I guess I'm in the wrong part of town, but wrong part of the state. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. Just
well, I would say if the price is right on that typewriter, and I mean, to me it looked good. I would say go for it.
Yeah, well, I texted or put a reply there to see if they'll come back, and but I need something big and ugly and what do you call it? That steampunk looking almost.
There you go. Yeah,
that's got that look. My mom had an Underwood 5. Actually, I think she had 2 of them, and then she had a Royal FP, I think. And I always liked the Underwood 5 when I was because these are like 1920, mine are like 1920 and 27, I think. But when I was a little kid, she had them from like probably the 30s too, because she didn't have a new thing, But I love playing with the little winding thing on that. You wind the ribbon on the side of it, but they're so cool. They're like steampunk, like you said. That's what the modern word for those mechanical things are, like all kinds of fancy. It's an amazing looking typewriter compared to other typewriters. The way that thing's built.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's neat. That's all I've got.
Okay.
And visiting libraries, living out of libraries.
I know, right?
Yep, that work. But
yeah, those typewriters are definitely out of my comfort zone, because even in the early 40s, I start getting nervous about them. And once they hit the 30s, I'm like, oh, this, I feel like I'm on a museum piece here, and I'm not equipped to to handle that. So yeah, because then I'm hands off with the repairs. So
Well,
yeah.
and you're so young too. That's probably part of the problem.
Oh, I'm not that young.
I'm 64. I'm 64, and
Oh.
when I was a kid, that was still a popular typewriter. I mean, so it's like, gee, why wouldn't you use it? It works great.
Excellent.
I think the best one I've got, I think somebody else mentioned that too, is an old Smith Corona. Well, actually, it's just Corona. It's just a Corona. It looks like the one with the stripes on it, except there's no stripes. It's just gloss black with the black chrome keys. I think it's 40. Oh, I can't remember, 40 or 30, late 30s or early 40s. And that's out of all the ones I've got, I've only got 12, but that is the best feeling typewriter to type on. It's weird, out of the Luterras and the Hermes rockets and 3000s and all that. That one, it's the one I make the least mistakes on. And for something that old, you think the technology would have gotten better and more responsive. I think somebody mentioned some of them are lighter touches, and
yeah.
But I guess it's just personal preference. But that one, I got that out yesterday, and now my wife wants that one, so I think I've lost it. But as long as I can get more typewriters, it's okay if she has that one.
Yeah,
that'll work.
I wouldn't be surprised if during that time period when Underwood was huge, and I don't know if this is true or not, I'm making this up, but I really think that there's probably a reason why Underwood, there were so many of them, because I think they're a great typewriter to type on. The one thing they did was they kind of hid your print just a little bit, not really. It was still visible though. It wasn't the invisible, but you might have had to move your head a little bit different to see it. But the feel of those things are amazing, actually, and they're built like a tank.
Yeah. Well, I've got that. I've got the Corona 4. I just got working at that 30. That's a 1939, and then I've got a Skywriter I found that's in horrible condition, but I've got it apart, and we'll be working on that Skywriter. That's a what was that? That's actually made in England. It was when they were converting or something. I guess they were England, or we just bought out that plant or something happened. But it's 1962 Skywriter.
Okay.
It's got England in the back. So
yeah. Very cool.
Those are nice little typewriters too. Those are. Those are sweet. I like them.
Yeah, me too.
Got the metal reels on too. I thought that was kind of, because those reels are really small. But they're two metal reels, and it's like, it's worth it just to get the metal reels, maybe.
Yep.
Get that.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Ken.
Thanks.
Yeah. And Sean, you must have heard us invoke your name earlier.
I drove all the way back to Calgary and then realized there was still some time, because I guess I woke up early and heard you talking about me. No, I don't know. I didn't.
There you go. Yes, I was mentioning to Steve earlier that well, he was talking about how he loves his SG1, and he was expressing an interest in Royals, and so I was telling him, of course, about the Royal FP. So,
oh yes. Oh, FPs. Mwah.
And how many do you have in your collection again, Sean?
I've got 7.
Wow.
And I never was going to collect standards, but it was a color thing, and then the FP was the epitome of the development of the Model 10. So the FP became my weak spot for standards, and so I've got all the colors and different typefaces and stuff. Love the FP. I can't recommend them more highly. They were never any better after the FP.
Yeah.
They use those in my typing class, and 10th grade, I think it was. I took
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was all FPs. And then if you did better, which I flunked out, but if you did better, then they had electric typewriters for you.
Oh.
You had to graduate from the manual typewriters?
Yeah, and I imagine those FPs have been there a long time now. And, you
Yeah.
know, but their whole class was full of them, and what a sight. I mean, I think they're beautiful. My mom had one, and they're a wonderful typewriter to type on. I can't find any fault with them at all, except if you want a portable, obviously, you know, but like I said about that old Underwood, they're still a sight to behold, and they're like the mechanical genius behind it, and it's like a tank, you know. So,
well, Larry, being that you were in school in the 90s, those FPs were there a long time.
I graduated high school in '76, so
I was trying to give you a little bit of an opening there.
Yeah.
That might have been '96.
Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, no, I love the FPs. So yeah, Steve, congratulations on your FP then. That's an excellent typewriter. You can never really go wrong with them. Even when they've been turned over in shipping and banged around in a UPS truck for 2 weeks, they will still work. I mean, they'll need a little bit of fixing, but yeah. I've had that.
And that's the scary thing about Underwood, a big old, because they're heavy as crap, and they got pointy parts that stick out and come out through the box in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think I was trying to talk Steve into getting one, so I don't know if he has one yet.
I'm getting interested.
Yeah.
What would be the peak years for the FP?
Well, you know, the peak years probably 1959, 1960. They're really not much different through the whole run. You know, from 1957 to 61, they're pretty much the same. There's just some really, really minor differences, but fundamentally everything inside is the same. It's just sometimes between 1957 and 1961, the color selector went from a lever to a round adjuster thing, but really there's nothing else different. I mean, you know, it was the colors that were a big deal. The green, for some reason, they seem to drop the green a little earlier, and I'm not sure why, because I've only ever seen the willow greens 57, 58, and 59, and then I've never seen it. It doesn't mean they don't exist, because obviously I haven't looked at millions and millions of them, but yeah, I've just never seen a green that's from 1960 or 61. But yeah, they're pretty much all the same. So you really can't go wrong with any of them, Steve. If you find one, just.
I've got a question for you, Sean. I've got an FPE, which is elite. Is the Pica one FPEP?
Yes.
It is, okay.
So, yeah, and then
I'd rather have a Pica myself because I love bigger print.
Well, what color is yours, Larry?
The color of the machine.
Yeah.
Is beige.
Okay.
I mean,
well, yeah, I'll trade you a Pica for an elite then.
well, I mean, I just buy typewriters. I don't get rid of.
I
would give it to you.
No. I don't need.
If I was inclined to give you a typewriter and it wasn't my FP.
Yeah, no. Well, that's good. That was a test. Never give up your FP.
Yeah, there you go.
I know. I would get it both.
FPPs for Pica, FPE for Elite, and then if you find an FPS, that's really the icing on the cake. An FPS is special, and it could have been one of 8 different typefaces.
Wow.
You know, Patrician and Spencerian and Book and some of the other interesting royal typefaces that pretty much a lot of them died out after the FP. They were very, very special orders. So FPSs are definitely like the cool ones to find.
And they have a script?
Yeah, their Spencerian is their script. So it was a typeface that Brother produced, one of the Japanese companies, and yeah, it was unique to Royals and Brothers, but you really found it on Royals back in the 60s.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you for that information, Sean.
My pleasure. Any FP info, you know.
I know. You're the man.
I'm writing all that down.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
You always want to look for, like, you know, like with any typewriter, you're always trying to take a look at the slugs, right, to see if you can see a special typeface that maybe the seller didn't recognize when they were selling it. But the other key is hopefully when they take a picture of an FP, they take a picture with the lid up. And if you can see that serial number on the left-hand side, flat top, right beside the left spool, you'll see, if you see an FPS, buy it no matter what, because, you know, it'll be one of those special typefaces. And there's some pretty cool ones.
Yeah. We're all going to get on eBay and scrutinize.
I know. I didn't know that about the S at all. I had no clue.
Well, you know, like there was a green one with a standard 11-inch carriage, which is the perfect size, right? Unless you really want those big wide carriages. And it was green, which is a nice attractive color. And it was on there for quite a while. And I wasn't quite into buying standards yet. And I wasn't sure about buying a standard off of eBay and shipping to Canada because of the trip and the danger and all that. But it had written on the side patrician in, you know, that old red plastic tape that you use the squeeze gun to make the letters white.
Yeah.
Anyway, Richard Polt ended up buying that. And so he's had that for, 5-6 years. And he just posted it on Instagram with some writing here. Like last week, he was grading papers with it. And so I remember it because it stuck in my mind for quite a long time. And it sat on eBay for a while. So every time he posted, I'm like, oh, there's the patrician. And he's always like, yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So is there anything new in your world?
Yeah, this guy here, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know where my camera is. Yes, so this is a Corona 4, which, you know, I like these in addition to Royals. But this one is it's got a math or physics keyboard. You can see the big delta. And then you can see in the bottom the pi. It's got a plus and a minus, and then up top it's got the half-life symbol. It's got the 2 and the 3 superscript for formulas, I guess. And then as you go along the top row, you've got you know, the what is it, epsilon over the 3.
Oh yeah.
And then the division symbol on the 7.
Wow.
So yeah, I saw that one on eBay. It was selling out of Canada, and anyway, nobody else bid on it. So that was a $36 Canadian typewriter, which is like the cheapest Corona 4 I've ever bought. So I was like, you know, and nobody else bid on it. And it's got its spool covers, which I'm a big fan of spool covers. So I got it. We were out camping this weekend. We just got back. I got a delivery notice on Friday. We were already out. And so I said, oh, Carol, I got to go back into town and get some stuff. Drove all the way back to the city, went to the post office, picked it up, drove all the way back out. She's like, you went all the way back for a typewriter? I'm like, it was a special typewriter. I had to see it. I couldn't let it wait all weekend. So
excellent.
And that's that's it. I got a square body Hermes 3000, I think, coming tomorrow. And and paper. After our talk of paper last week with Susan, geez, cripes, Gregory, I blame it on you, because you got excited. So then I got on eBay to see what was there, and somebody had posted a whole whack of vintage Southworth paper boxes, and they're still in their plastic.
Oh wow.
So geez, I ended up buying 3 or 4 of those and some other papers, and stupid.
Here's my I'll share my screen like this. I'll put
there you go.
13-inch
carriage.
That's easy. What did it do? Did I do something
good
wrong? Okay, here we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is easier to hold than my FBE. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and what I really want you to notice is the price tag on it.
We can't see that. You'll have to say it.
$2.95, I think. This says $2.95.
$2.95 or $295?
Yep. Nope. $2.95.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was the 1990s though.
Okay.
That doesn't count, but yeah.
It don't matter. You're gonna make a profit on it no matter what. Or your estate will.
Well, if I give it to you, I won't make nothing.
I'll give you $10, and that'll like quadruple what you paid for it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Light bulb coming on.
Just gravy, man. It's all gravy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I don't need any more FPs, but yeah, no, thanks. I'm just joking.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's so good to see you, Sean.
Yes, sorry, I knew when we got back early enough. I thought, man, I can still get on to
Yeah.
Typewriter for a few minutes here. So
glad.
Thanks for letting me in.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Robert, how are you doing?
Well, hello to everyone. I'm just as a guest at a birthday party here, so I don't have lots of time. Hope you understand me all. Because of the music in the background. Well, quite fine, and nothing to report, despite I had my Adler Tipper with me here to type the order for our pizza we had just right now. So, wait a minute, we can have a look at it. Oh, I have to turn off my camera. Wait, this one is it. And here's my Adler Tipper. And here is the order for our pizza we had. So,
nice.
Always take a typewriter with you, no matter what you're doing. Well, no, as I'm just dropping in a little bit, but I think I soon will leave here to get back to the. It's not a party; it's just a gathering around. But I had the urge to take a look at you and say hello. And now I think I'll go back in the background. To report is really nothing new. I had a Luterra 22 board, but the motor for the drawband is broken. So now I found a Luterra 32, and I tried to swap the drawband motor to get the Luterra 22 running, because I have another 32 already. So I have to figure out which one is the better one, which one I'll take as a part machine, which one to keep. And that's so heavy decision to give up a typewriter, or to think about giving up a typewriter. Well, I think everyone knows about these problems. And so let's see. And no, I think I'm not at home, so I could show you some other things, but maybe next week.
Okay, we will look forward to that.
I know. Gregory, just a question. I don't know if I'm doing wrong. How is it with the typewriter, with the mail exchange? I haven't already received any address from a partner for the how the typewriters, the postcard exchange. That's what I'm asking for.
For this month?
Yes, never. I think I've registered twice, I think, and never received any mail or something with an address from a partner. Or am I doing wrong something there?
I would check your spam folder.
Yeah.
Because the one for last month definitely went out. So if you registered for that one, you should have received your match.
Okay, so I have to. The other mails, the normal newsletter from Typewriter is receiving normal in my inbox. So I'm always taking a look at my spam. So I have to try it again, but I thought maybe it's my fault. I don't know, because I want to participate and I like to have someone to share a postcard or something. And so, okay, I'll take a look, and otherwise maybe I try to contact you directly if something's okay.
Yeah, definitely. One way or another, I'll make sure you get your match.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And to all the others, have a nice evening and see you next week. I'm just listening a bit, and then I will drop off. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. That is so awesome that he typed up the order for the pizza. That's an excellent use of typewriter.
Agreed.
Very cool. Curry, how are you doing at Willow Creek Typewriters?
Oh, it takes me a second to unmute myself, but
yeah,
Curry and Becky.
And Becky, yes.
No, we're good. We just got back from a couple of hours of antiquing, but nothing came home with us. So no. So that was a bit disappointing, but it was just a quick trip out, and we were on our drive back, and there was all this black smoke in the sky. So it was a nice big fire at auto records yard near us.
Oh
So,
boy.
a little bit of excitement for the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, typically, you have pretty good luck at the when you're antiquing, right?
Yeah,
Especially
especially the glass collecting.
Yeah.
Been the thing lately.
Yeah.
But no, we've been pretty good so far. But we did a big reorg of the Willow Creek workshop this week and put shelves in and stuff. I think put some pictures up.
Yes.
So now we can sort of manage and see how many machines and stuff we've got. What did you say we have for inventory?
Oh, I think there's 28 inventory machines. I'm like, how did we get so many? I keep finding them for him. I'm like, is this one good? He's like, yeah. Is this one good? Yeah. Tell him.
Yeah, I think we've got 5 client machines in the house at the moment, so those will start going back out this week. And had fun with the Underwood leader yesterday, and actually had to take the carriage off, so that was lots of fun. But hey, the typewriter repair Bible came in handy for that, so it all followed the directions. It all worked out. So yeah, that was like, oh gosh, when we have this thing back together again, but it was all fine. So
kind of a junky machine anyway.
Yeah, kind of one of those, under 1950 Underwood leader, kind of like typing on a tin can kind of typewriters. But so that's a client machine that'll go back out this week. So
I forget who it was, but someone was showing a leader earlier. I don't remember who it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was Christoph or
on the antique group.
Was there one showing on the ATC or something?
Yeah, it was gray.
Yeah. Oh, they were all gray back then.
No, I mean, like a big brown big top.
Unless you had an FP.
No.
I know, right? Sean has to plug those FPs. Now, Curry, have you come across any FPs?
No.
What does that mean? What is an FP, Gregory?
That is the Royal FP. So it's a standard model. Actually, Sean is probably better to talk about the Royal.
Oh, one of them. No, don't have one of they.
Okay.
It's like H's and HH's and things like that. So I've got
HH's are just before FPs.
Ah, okay. No, don't have anything that's like that yet.
Sexy.
Blue, look at that.
Now, the one you just found last week was sexy.
Yeah. No, was it last weekend we were out and I'd picked up the dead brother EP20 in the case. I was so hopeful. I was like, it's in like the carry bag and had the instructions and everything. I was like, well, I gotta get at least for that. So that was a bit of a dud. So maybe at some point we'll be able to take it apart. And I've got a buddy who is a hardware engineer, so he might be able to help me solve whatever's wrong with it. It'd be nice to not have to chuck it or how would you ever use it for parts anyways if you can't get it working? But But that one, and then the Hermes baby. So that I got my Hermes baby on the workbench. The drawband is just disconnected from it, so it needs to be pulled apart and cleaned up and stuff like that. So yeah, try and work those in amongst getting inventory machines done and client machines, and okay, now I'll do one for me and things like that. So yeah.
Very cool. It sounds like you're a busy man.
Yeah. Well, we had the little mini type in art walk thing last week, and so that was fun.
Brutal.
Glad we were indoors, not outside in the rain. And so then we were planning on doing another type in at a coffee shop in Uptown Waterloo here the end of May, but now and then they just told us that they're closing up. So so we'll figure out somewhere else to do one. There's other coffee shops, there's other places that we know. So we'll do another one, and then hopefully do another one at the library in the fall. So we heard back from them, and they were keen on having us back. So yeah, we'll keep doing stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Now you mentioned the library, and that reminded me that I think it was this last week. I had a patron come in because I work at a library. I had a patron come in asking if we had a typewriter available, and I was like, no.
No, you guys don't do like the borrowing of things yet. I know one of our libraries here that you can borrow like tools and other stuff, right?
Yeah, that's definitely becoming a trend. And I should actually push that and mention that, I've had, in the time I've worked in the library, I've had at least probably 3 requests for a typewriter for use. So maybe that would be a good thing to add in a library of things. So, because I know some libraries that you can borrow tools, you can borrow
fishing poles,
toys, kitchen stuff. Yeah.
There's, in Toronto,
we've got
the
sewing
library there,
machines.
you can borrow
the sewing
day
machines.
passes to like museums and different things, and so you don't have to actually pay. You can borrow the pass.
Cool.
Yes.
So yeah, that's different too.
Yeah, we recently started the passes to the California state parks. So that's a very new addition for us. So, and the waiting list for it is insane. It's like, wow. Oh my goodness. So they're gonna send us more, but for now the waiting list is impossibly long.
Yeah, but you'd think that the borrowing a typewriter thing would be a good fit for a library. I mean, it's all to do with literacy and things like that. So yeah, why not have a couple of those?
Yeah,
available?
actually, in my childhood library, I remember they had a room, and it had like 3 typewriters, and you could go in that room and close the door and type away. So, very interesting.
And then they have somebody on staff that knows how to fix them.
Yeah, or they hire you.
Oh, you have to get your other Riverside buddy to come over and fix it.
Yeah, Bob. Yes.
Pull up in his trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The expense of driving for you would be pretty high. So.
Yeah. Well, we have an electric vehicle. We have a Volt, but gas prices here today are they're all just shy of $2 a liter. It's like 199.9 kind of thing, right? It's like that psychological limit, it's just gonna take one of them to go over. I mean, a diesel is like 226 or something, and we won't talk to Sean though, because the gas is cheaper in Alberta than it is out here. But they're out in the country for like $2 a liter. What is it, like, Sean? Like $1.60, $1.70, something like that.
Yeah, we're $1.71 right now. $1.64 to $1.71. But hey, Ontario doesn't want our oil, so buy it from Venezuela. Just joking. I'll sell to you, Curry.
Yes, I didn't say we didn't want it.
No, I know.
Lots of people scratching their heads going like, we make enough oil in our country. How come we can't just use our oil?
I know. We've got to buy it from Russia and Venezuela.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So no. Try not to put have to do too much driving that involves gas.
Yeah.
Except for antiquing, she says, but at least most of those places are, 50 kilometers or less away.
Exactly. Yeah. And is there anything else new with you?
Anything else new with me? Oh no, just we're dog sitting at the moment. So we I don't know, a lot of you might not know that we had our own dog, and during COVID a year and a half ago, I think we had to put him down.
She hates Curry, sorry.
So yeah, she doesn't like me.
She's had her spa and she had her 3 hours while we went antiquing, apparently.
How could you not like Curry?
I know.
I've got him pretty well trained. Like he's not too scary or nothing.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, other than that, new. There's a couple of typey finds, and we had this Sears electric that was sitting around here in the shop for a little while, and it always just takes the right person to come along, and this fella contacted me, and he's like, I have this old Smith Corona secretarial, and I tried taking it to one shop, and the guy there couldn't fix it, and he's like, can you fix it and all this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, which shop did you take it to? And then he sort of clued in. He's like, oh, is it? It was you. Yeah, he brought me this thing like, I don't know, a year ago, and he had been using WD-40 on it, and so I tried to make some adjustments and turned the screw, and it just like plastic,
He was very
just
sad.
break.
That's only-
So I was like, no, I can't fix your machine that you've filled all full of oil and everything. You're not paying me enough to do that. So
Yeah.
off he went, and I didn't get much money out of that one. But then here he calls me like a year later, trying again, and like, oh, why don't you just come and get one that was actually working and stuff? So he did. He came out, and we put them all out on the table and let him try some, and then at least with the Type Bar Electric, then you get the consistent imprint. Yes. It was like a barely used this Sears Electric, so he took it. So I'm like, hey, there you go. You never know. You have these things laying around. You think, who the heck's gonna buy this thing? And you just need the right person.
Me will.
So yeah,
I'll buy your electric.
And another Smith Corona type wheel one, and had been sitting around for a while. I was like, I don't know, $129 or something. It wasn't much. And this old fellow, he was like in his 70s, and he has like a property management company he still runs with his son, and he needs a typewriter to type up like labels and stuff, and that was perfect for him. He took it. So yeah, it's like, sometimes these ones you think, who would ever want that?
Yeah.
But they obviously made them for a reason, and there's something for everybody out there. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely busy between the full-time job and then coming home and doing the other stuff in the evenings, and oh yeah, that's right. This coming Tuesday, well, actually this past week I was on the radio. So this local community radio, and as soon as they send me the link for the podcast, I'll send it out and put it on all the groups and stuff.
Please do.
So then that was finally broadcast this past week. So they'd interviewed about Willow Creek and stuff, and then we had this event going on that has been going on here in Waterloo Region for a number of years now, called Doors Open, and maybe they have it in other places where it's like usually it would be corporate head offices or government offices and things like that would have like an open house kind of day where anybody from the public could go through and see these things. But obviously since COVID, they haven't been able to do them in person. Mm-hmm. So the last 2 years they've done digital Doors Open, where they would just do videos, and they've done one from the airport that I work at and stuff like that, and then they put them up on YouTube, and so they've been doing them that way. So but this year they're, I guess, changing it up a bit, and they had approached me to do a digital Doors Open on Willow Creek Typewriters. So they're coming. Cool. They came last Sunday to shoot some B-roll at the Art Walk, and then they're going to come over on Tuesday night and do the filming and like an interview or whatever they're going to do for the main portion of it. So probably have that out sometime this summer.
Be speaking on the camera. No. This is push. I mean, I mumble, right? So I hate seeing myself on camera. I just.
Well, you were just on camera just now.
I know, but it's still bad.
Well, you don't look at yourself. Look at everyone else. Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, May, you look so pretty today. You look so fresh and just.
Oh, thank you. I didn't. Let's get out of the shower.
You woke up late.
I woke up. Well, I wasn't going to get on. I had COVID this past week. Yeah, there you go, Larry. But it was fine. I was very. This is not COVID Club Live, but it's just a couple of days of feeling like crap, and then after that I felt fine. So I guess thankfully for the vaccines, it really wasn't that bad. I'd much rather have COVID 10 times than have the flu like I've had in the past. So thank you, vaccine science, for making it just a few days of feeling like crap, and now I feel great. So it's still a little bit stuffy, but other than that, I don't have fever or any of the other aches and pains and stuff. So
I've had it before.
no
Is
new
that-
typewriters. I'm still on my strict typewriter diet, but I did do a little typewriter adjacent repair. So I have I've had this Luterra, the Underwood Olivetti Luterra 32 for a while, and it came in a case, you know, as they all do. They're all torn up and gross. And so I was going to throw it out, and then I decided, you know what, I'll give it a second chance. And so I spent some time fixing the stitching, glue, and little sewing thread, some clamps, and I have okay, and it's fine. It's a little dirty, like I can't get all the stains out of the inside, but that's fine. It's clean, you know, it's sanitized.
Yeah.
So now I have a case, and somebody put an O on the bottom and grease paint that I'm not going to try to get out because I don't want to ruin the finish. So yeah, that's my typewriter news. I fixed the Luterra 32 case.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, still on my strict typewriter diet though.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about 6 CPI typewriters. How many do you have in your collection?
3. I have 3 all Smith Corona, 1 Silent Super that's green, well, was green before I washed all the paint off of it, and then 2 Classic 12s. And I have 3 different, I think Smith Corona has 4 large typefaces, and I have 3 out of the 4.
Okay.
So I just lucked out, you know. They're one of them was local. It was one of the first typewriters I ever got. I didn't even know anything about typewriters when I got it. And, you know, the typosphere informed me I had something really special. And then the other 2 I just picked up from Shop Goodwill. You know, Classic 12s typically get passed over. Maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Classic 12s come with a lot of nice, interesting typeface varieties. You know, I've got a cursive, I've got, you know, a couple of different picas, I've got 6 CPIs, Elite. I think I've got, you know, 6 different typefaces in that series. So, and I like them. You know, they're not the prettiest typewriters. Say that again.
Or you probably have one with removable type too, at least one of the slugs or a couple of slugs.
Yeah, yeah. The
Those are
6 CPIs don't have the removable because, you know, or interchangeable or whatever. But yeah, the regular typefaces, the Pica and Elite, you know, they do have the on the edge. I think it's plus minus and 1 and exclamation mark. You can pull and change those out. And I've got 1 set of change of type, and it's the international symbols, you know, the accent marks and things like that. So, which I have no use for because I don't speak foreign languages very well.
It's cool to have though,
But
and
it's still,
you have the little
it's still
box,
fun
right?
to have. Yeah, it's cool to have. Yeah, it came with the little box. It came with one of my electric Sears machines. So I was happy about that. You know, that was one of the reasons why I bought it, was because I saw that little box, you know, jingling in the bottom of the
They're
case.
expensive to find separately.
Surely.
Yeah, they're really
Say that again?
expensive. They're very expensive.
Separately, yeah.
So it's worth.
If you buy them on eBay, I've looked for them, and people want, you know, $25 for, you know, just one little set. But I mean, they're rare, so, you know, we spend hundreds of dollars for a typewriter. So what's the difference, right?
I haven't found them for 25. I've found them for hundreds of dollars for like a single key, like not even the set of 4.
Oh my
So-
goodness! Wow.
I got
Yeah.
a nice set here then. I mean, that's, I guess
Yeah,
I got them
you've
upside
got a
down.
nice set.
Are they upside? Where do I got them? I don't know if they're backwards or what.
It's correct.
There's that
Correct.
little smiley face. I love that one.
Oh, you got one of those. Those are nice.
Yeah.
William has one.
Go for hundreds of dollars. Hundreds.
Wow. I bought them. I just bought them off eBay like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they were not expensive. I mean, they were
That
probably,
was 4 or 5 years ago. The, you know, typewriter, I don't think we're as
That was
good as
before the wave.
it was before. I think COVID is what really changed.
Oh yeah. Yep.
People staying
Big
at
time.
home, and I need something to do.
Yeah.
I want a typewriter.
I shouldn't be this is on YouTube now. The public, now somebody's gonna find out where I live and they're gonna come and steal it.
He has change of type. We're coming after your change of type.
Wow, they're gonna put me in one of them drums and put me at the bottom of Lake Mead.
They'd probably go for your guitars before that change of type.
I don't know any nice guitars. And I don't know one at all. $10 guitar.
Very cool. So any new typewriters or anything, May?
No new typewriters. I'm doing
Okay.
well. If something local, a deal comes around, I can't pass that up. But I'm not actively looking for anything.
Okay.
So I have a lot of nice typewriters, and since I'm kind of into the electric ones now and the Selectric.
We do respect your strength, but we always do like to see new typewriters anyway. So it's a real fine balance.
Of course,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
I never say never.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing inside when somebody says, "Oh, I'm not really. I don't care." Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I want typewriter. I want 300 typewriters. I want a wall-to-wall typewriter, room. But I have to be reasonable. I live in an apartment. I can't. And plus, I'm not going to live here forever. And if I buy 300 typewriters, I'm going to have to move 300 typewriters. So.
You just have to know how to decorate. You have to realize your cupboards in your kitchen can hold them under your bed, up the walls, all the walls.
There's somebody in the typewriter group that has them mounted across his wall around his room, which looks really cool. But I don't understand how you keep them from getting dusty that way. So I'd much rather have like a closed cabinet or something to keep them clean. Otherwise, I'm dusting 300 typewriters, once a week.
Exactly. Well, and before I forget, happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Thank you. Yeah, that's our Mother's Day. We can't get together, unfortunately. So we're going to do a virtual, FaceTime Mother's Day a little bit later this afternoon.
So you're warming up with us, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, plus I realized I hadn't been on in a little while, and so I thought I'd pop in, say hi before you guys sign off. And I've just been busy the past few weeks.
I don't even have the I don't even get the brownie points for calling her. My mom called me this morning before I could call her.
That's the worst.
You're like, darn it.
Hey, she forget.
Well, it is so good to see you, May. So
well, thank you.
Yeah,
It's
welcome
good to
back.
see you too, and thank you for doing this. And so I guess I found out that you're doing the Type and Talk 24/7, and how I didn't realize that. So
Yeah, well, people can log into it 24/7 now, because before it relied on me being here to get the meeting set up so that people could log in. There were instances where I found myself not at home and maybe got home just in the nick of time to start it. Or there's even been an instance where I had fallen asleep on the couch, and then I get a message from Diane saying, "You haven't started Type and Talk." So Carlos was nice enough to figure out the setting that I needed to change so that you guys can just log in.
So it's just like an open video chat room. Like a place to meet. Like there's no scheduled meet times, just open for.
Well, it's still the Type and Talk, and it's still limited to Type Pals members.
Right.
So if you are planning on going in outside of the Saturday evening, I would definitely recommend inviting people, because otherwise you're probably going to be there by yourself.
Which I've done once before. Yes.
Oh.
But that was early on before people.
Yes, that was before it got on. Yeah.
Exactly. So like if I wanted to do Typewriter Tuesdays, I could gather people from meet on Tuesdays or something.
I'm already
like
doing tacos on
Tuesday. Typewriters and tacos on Tuesday. That sounds
there you go.
That's a super good idea, actually.
I sent to all the Facebook people that I knew of that were my friends to get on, because Gregory couldn't do it one week, and so because Diane wanted us to get on, and so I'm like, well, let's just do this, So I sent out a group message. So you could like send a group message and say, hey, I'm going to get on Type Pals on Zoom if anybody wants to, So
yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, I saw that Diane had posted Friday, and I thought she got her days mixed up. I thought she thought it was Saturday. I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
I had to look at my calendar. I said, did I lose a day?
Oh my gosh, I did that.
No, I know.
Friday night. Friday night,
I set my alarm and I told my wife, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I got to get up in the morning. She goes, well, you got to get up for. I said, church is tomorrow. She goes, no, it's not. Oh. It's not. Yeah. Anyway, so I lost a day somehow. Gained a day. I don't know what I did.
Either that or you changed religions. I don't know.
No, I played at church and I had to get up and go to church. I just know I did. And wow. So anyway, I had a whole other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see William Lester on here this morning, but I got a nice letter from him. Okay, so here's a regular size sheet of paper.
How long was
Here's his letter.
Yes, let me zoom in on you here.
Oh wow, look, 6
Wow.
CPI. He types it on what, and it's not just one, it's not just two, it's not just three, it's not just four, but okay, 4-page letter.
Oh my goodness.
on 11 by 17, but I suppose since it's 6 CPI, it's like a 4-page regular,
Yeah.
But I think it's so, I've never had a letter typed in 6 CPI.
That is so cool.
Thank you, William, if you hear this later.
Awesome.
So nice. Yeah.
Someone early on told me type in landscape. Drive people crazy.
Yeah.
Type in landscape.
You have to read all the way
landscape.
across. Yeah, you have to like hold a ruler on there to keep your place.
Yeah. There is a reason that paper is narrow like that, so that it's easier to read. But yeah, you could use that to drive people crazy.
That and type in cursive too while you're at.
Yeah, there you
single
go.
space.
Yeah, both combined.
Yeah.
And don't use
I gave a couple cursive typewriters away just because of that. It's because I just like typing and posting it. And when you post it, it's like I notice I don't think anybody's reading these at all. I get many more likes if they can read.
So you do give typewriters away? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have. Ones I don't like.
Just not to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm one of the everyone.
If I find another FP, I'll keep you in mind. It's going to have to be at least $2.95. I can tell you that.
Oh. I'm just joking, but yes, I would definitely. I think anybody should pay for an FP a little bit.
I agree.
$2.95.
Yep, there you go.
If I find another one for $2.95.
Good luck.
All right. Brian, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Excellent.
Cool. Wanted to read the picture, so.
Oh, I want your dog.
Oh.
Is that like a standard poodle or something? What is that?
Yeah, he's a standard poodle.
Oh man, I always thought those are so cool. I love big dogs.
Buddha.
Oh,
You cannot lie.
I want him to just say hello to me or something.
Hello.
Hi, puppy dog.
Oh.
Wow.
Smart dog.
He's got his Remington torpedo over here. See what
Oh
he-
yeah.
Yeah, I like the yellow color.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. Just that. I went to scope out roads for a road rally that my dad's helping with sometime later this summer, and I got this Area 51 T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
It's not at all typewriter related.
That's okay, but we have had UFO talk on here before.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
My book I started in the 90s and never finished. It actually starts out there in Roswell.
Oh. Well, Roswell, New Mexico, and Area 51's in
Nevada. It says right on it, Nevada. Yeah. And I was thinking it was the Roswell, but I confused the two. But anyway, that's where my book started, Roswell.
Okay. Neat. I had meaning to go there. I haven't been there yet.
I've never been there either, except when I first landed. I remember that when I was little.
Oh boy. I did really enjoy the pictures you were posting, Brian.
All right.
Your little trip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was spending time in Tonopah, where the clown motel is.
Yeah.
I just went to the middle of town. I walked down and took pictures on the way there. It's a crazy place.
Yeah, it looks like it. Very cool. All right. I haven't mentioned the typing prompt, or at least it's been quite a while since I mentioned it. Did anyone happen to do the typing prompt? It's the how do you make time for typing? Or if you just want to answer the question, you could do that too.
I wanted to know what some people's answers were because I don't know how to make time for typing these days. It's like something on like every evening or on the weekends or whatever. We're doing something.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you just gotta make a point of just sitting down and scheduling time or something like that to rattle off some letters. It's been a while. So.
Yeah.
Schedule your yoga and schedule your typewriter time.
There you go.
And I saw a cartoon yesterday on Facebook, and the teacher was telling the little kid when she was handing him his homework, she said, just pretend it's a long text message.
That's funny. I like that.
Well, I didn't do the prompt, but I mean, I just carve out a few minutes here and there. Typing is just on a whim. So I never spend more, than an hour or two typing. So usually I'll just sit down for 20 minutes or so, type something, and then go do something else. So you don't have to schedule all day.
Yeah.
Although there have been days, some Saturdays, Sundays, I will just type all day long. But
it's not
while I'm
something
doing
I
other stuff.
think I can leave one out. So it is. I have to move a piece of furniture. I have to set it up. And then once you start a letter, I mean, I don't really like to leave letters midway. So it takes all day just to compose. I mean, I really feel like it's a big production. I don't feel like I can just do up a grocery list. I don't have a table where I have one set out ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to get one of those little typewriter tables.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I've got nothing but that. I have typewriters out all over the place.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn, you're like, oh.
That's the biggest guitar I've ever seen, Brian.
Yeah, I go on the table. I've got this one. It's on typewriter desk.
All right, that's cool.
So now that
I
Brian's
set up all the time. And
now that
so
Brian's
he
broached
also
the
has
topic, how many typewriter tables does everybody have, and where are they?
I don't have any.
I don't have
What?
an actual typewriter table, but I have an AV cart that I use as a typewriter table.
Still looking for my first one.
Oh, they're the greatest. I put
That's
one in the
nice.
bathroom upstairs. Seriously, I mean, you go in there, you're going to be there for a few minutes anyway. Why waste your brain on Instagram? You can just sort of do your thing.
How do you find time for typing? There you go.
Oh man.
It's very useful.
I could have gone somewhere with a joke, but it would not go a good place.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
So
that
you
much.
just type up a bunch of crap in there? Is that what you
Literally.
Yeah. Well, usually what I write is pretty poopy, but yeah, it's you work with what you got.
I've never heard of a typewriter in the bathroom, but
I'll take a picture and post it. You'll see.
Well,
I think
Christmas trees. I have seen Christmas trees in bathrooms. So
That's weird.
television.
That just
Yeah.
makes sense. That's nice.
Oh, that is funny. And I think that's probably going to be our grand finale of the podcast this week is talk about the poopy typewriter. Oh man, that's good. Now, Curry, I was thinking you actually find a lot of time to type. Of course, it's just test typing, but maybe quick brown foxes and that kind of thing. What do you usually type as you're testing the typewriters?
Yeah, either that one or the pack my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs is one of my favorite ones.
Okay.
Yeah, mine too. That and the daft zebras or something.
Yeah.
I like the
Something, I
type
can't remember what it is.
Quartz. Isn't that
Yeah.
one?
Type like Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Building them the slippy toes to gyre and gimble in the wave.
Look at that sexy old face that.
Yeah, my wife can recite that whole thing. Yeah.
I do trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no pet, got no cigarette. I don't know why I like typing that.
Yeah.
King of the road.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. And anyone else on how you find time for typing, or how do you make time for typing? Because I personally have been very guilty about not making the time for it. Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the idea of the postcards, and yet I find it difficult to even make that time. So yeah.
Speaking of which, if you haven't got a postcard yet from the last one, that would be probably from me. So I need to get on the ball. I apologize for that. So and then it's someone that's on here, semi right now. So I feel kind of bad, but I kind of forgot, and then I remembered. But then I didn't want to send out anything, with COVID, because I don't know, could be.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to wait a few more days before I type it up and send it out.
Yeah. See, I did actually use that as an excuse as well. That period where I was sick, and I was like, well, I mean, it would be irresponsible of me to send something out right now, right?
Yeah, I've got long COVID. That's why I haven't returned any of them yet.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
You could get a guitar strap and hook to your typewriter and have it on the front of you all the time, and then you'd be more likely to use it, maybe.
Yeah. Of course, you brought to mind, those keytars. It's like a guitar, but it's actually a keyboard.
That's right.
That's what I thought of, and you could adapt that to a typewriter. There you go.
Yeah, maybe more likely to use it, but it'd be less likely to leave the house.
Yeah. All right, very cool. Let's see. I think. Well, let me double check the YouTube chat again. Brian, I don't know if you saw Ted's reply, but he says history is made at night. Character is what you are in the dark.
Emilio Lizardo. We're trading Buckaroo Banzai quotes back and forth.
Oh, okay, got it. Excellent. Yeah, again, it's been a very long time since I've seen that, so I don't get any of those.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and watch it, but well, given that we are at 12:30 and it is Mother's Day, unless anybody has any other typing prompts or questions or comments, I think we'll wrap it up here and celebrate our mothers.
I think if you have like those dog shock collars and you put shock collars on everybody, and then you have a way to, like, when over the computer, maybe you make barking noise over the computer every time they don't type something. And so on the Type Pals, you could say, okay, get typing. And if they don't do it, make a barking noise, and it shocks them. I'm just trying to think outside the box here, So,
oh man, we'll hire Koa to bark.
We have a problem. We have to make a solution for it.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know how well that will go over, but
yeah, you can put that in an apocalyptic novel.
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, I like that. Maybe write a song.
Work. All right. Well,
I can't help it. I can't.
I know.
Something's wrong with.
We live out in the country.
It's not me. I think everybody else.
It's the world. Yeah. Oh man, I love you guys.
We love you too.
You guys are
awesome. All the work you do and all the fun things you
Very cool.
All right, everybody. Go
Yes.
type.
Yes,
Post
go type.
something somewhere.
Celebrate your mothers. And yeah. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you around.
Happy
Nice talking to all.
Nice talking to you, Roger.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Ken.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Last one to leave. Bye.